Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Had Sharingan and 3 Quirks movie. Before we start, please go support Julio43 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Deku is a male. Chapter 1, Izuku with the Sharingan. Narrator: in Tokyo, in the city of Muzurifu, we see a family of 3 people, 2 children and a woman. At that point the girl would speak. Note: I will put the name of the characters directly. Izumi, Mama Oniai-san, do you think our quirk will be amazing? She said with great joy. Inko: I don't want you to lose Izumi, but I hope your quirks are very powerful so that you can be very good heroes, she said with a motherly smile. Izuku: I don't lose Izumi, but I hope they are very powerful, he said with a smile like only he can give. Narrator: so the family arrived at the hospital and then sat down and waited. After a few minutes a nurse would arrive and tell them that they could go in to see the doctor who would treat them. Doctor: good morning, Mrs. Midoriya. I suppose you have come to see your children's quirk, or am I wrong? He said with a smile. Inko: no doctor, you're not wrong. I came to find out my children's quirk, she said with a smile. Doctor: okay, kids, come with me. So I can do a test to find out what your quirks are, said the doctor. Narrator: after that the children accompanied the doctor, who just returned 26 minutes later. Inko: well, doctor, what are my children's quirks? Said the green-haired woman. Doctor: well, Mrs. Midoriya, your children have a quirk, but the child has a very rare quirk since we have no data on that quirk, perhaps because it is new, he said with surprise, showing that he saw some documents. Doctor: while your daughter has 2 quirks, the first is fire control, which allows her to control fire at will, and her second quirk is that she can control gravity, he said, surprising the family and a very happy Izumi to know that she had 2 quirks. Inko: and what is the case with my son, doctor? Said the green-haired woman with intrigue. Doctor: well, what happens is that your son has 3 quirks, but he said but remained silent, worrying the woman. Inko: what's wrong, doctor? Why are you stopping? She said very worried. Doctor: putting it back together, your son has 3 quirks but 2 of them are useless, while the other quirk is a new one, said the doctor simply. But before Inko said Argo, she was interrupted by the doctor. Doctor: his first quirk is fire, which apart from the others is neither hot nor cold, and his second quirk is electricity. The latter is useless since his electricity is not that powerful, he said, making Izuku sad. Inko: and what is the Tarsia? She said, watching Izuku as he was shocked by the news. Doctor: the third is that he can change his eyes into very strange ones, but to activate that quirk he has to be in a moment of life or death, he said, surprising the family. Inko: thank you, doctor, she said, bowing. Let's go, kids, she said, eating the hands of both children to see that Izumi was very happy and Izuku very sad, something that made her very sad to see her son like that. Narrator: we see the Midoriya family arrive at their house. When they entered, Izuku ran to his room with tears on his face, although his mother was worried, but his brother Izumi did not care since she thought he was weak for having 2 quirks, but at the same time she was very upset since her brother has 3 quirks and she does not. Inko: Izumi, come on, let's go comfort your brother, she said, but what she heard made her angry and sad. Izumi, why would you go and comfort a useless guy who has weak quirks? You should worry about me, not me who has 2 furt quirks. She didn't finish because her mother slapped her, which left her surprised. Inko: how can you say that about your brother? She said, annoyed. Izumi: but if it's true, he's a useless person who's good for nothing, she said as she began to go to her room. But then a muscular man with blonde hair and a big smile would come in. Almight, I'm here, family, he said with a big smile, but he saw Inko sad and decided to ask, love, what's wrong with you? Why are you in that state? He said, confused. Narrator: so Inko would tell him everything up to now. Almight: seriously, he's useless, at least Izumi has a very powerful quirk, he said with disgust, but the last with pride, something that I so that Izumi will be happy, but Inko got upset Albert, as she said that her son was a devil. Inko: don't ever say that my son is useless. He's your son too, Toshinori, she said, very upset. Almight: who are you? Des, her stepson, is not my blood son, The last one who is my daughter is Izumi. He could not finish because Inko, very upset, would slap him. Inko, shut up. No, Toshinori, don't say again that my son is useless, and you, Izumi, go to your room, and I don't want complaints. You desertion me. I thought you, Toshinori, would support Izuku, but no, she said, shouting, and then went to Izuku's room. So several days passed in which Izuku was abused not physically but mentally. When he arrived home, his father asked him who did that to him, who hit him, but Izuku tried not to worry her. But one day his mother follows him to school to find out what Asian did to her son, but when she found out that her son was beaten by Izumi, Katsumi, Katsuki Fem, Toka, Todoroki Fem, and their other classmates are angry with Albert that his own daughter would also be hitting him. Albert is angry that the teachers were not going to intervene at all, but he sees how a girl stops them so that they stop hitting him. Clarifications. I'm here to give you some clarifications about this FIC or story. 1. Izuku will be serious and a little cold with almost everyone except his mother. 2. Izuku will have the Sharingan but not the Meishu. I don't know if that's how it's written. He will have it later. For the moment he will have the 1, 2 and 3 blades. 3. Izuku is going to train his lightning and fire quirk. What I mean is that I won't make it only depend on the Sharingan. 4. Izumi is the daughter of Almight and Izuku is the son of Hisashi. The latter does not know that he has a son. 6. Izuku suffered an accident because he was wearing a mask similar to the one he died of. 7. Myth Uzumaki will be in this theory or fanfic. His quirk will be the chains of Lamatinas. I don't know how to spell it. This quirk allows the user to remove chains from his back and can also steal the energies of his enemies, and more things that I will explain in the chapters. 8. Momo Yaoyorozu in this story will have 2 quirks. -1 quirk, this is the original creation. -2 quirk, this quirk is made of paper. In a few words, it is Conan's quirk in Naruto Shippuden. 9. Most of Class 1A will know each other since high school, and also Asian buying from Izuku when he was a child. 10. Izuku's couple will be Mito and Momo, although I might put Lighty Nagant, I'm not so sure, maybe Harem. Chapter 2, Change. Narrator. We see Izuku in the hospital with many bandages on one side. You may be wondering why he is in the hospital. Flashback. We see Izuku being beaten by Katsumi Toka and his brother. Toka. Seriously, you are a useless person who still thinks of being a hero. Haha, look at you, you can't even defend yourself. Ha 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 ha. Katsumi. Ha ha ha, half and half is right, look at yourself, you are a Deku who can't defend himself. Ha ha ha. Izumi. Ha, I still wonder why mom loves you. You're just a bucking useless guy who's good for nothing, she said as she stopped using her gravity quirk on Izuku, who was very hurt. Note, they are on top of a small mountain. Not so big but big enough for a 4 or 8-year-old child to get hurt. Katsumi and Toka would accidentally launch a large burst of fire at one part of his face. Here Toka uses his fire, and Katsumi would launch a large explosion at the same part of his face, making Izuku scream in pain while blood came out of his face. Izumi, what did they just do? They burned my face. Now how am I going to explain that to my mother again? She said, very scared, not only because she saw her brother bleeding and screaming in pain, but because she knew that her mother would be very upset. Toka, I am sorry I went overboard, she said in terror. Katsumi, quick, call an ambulance. End of flashback. And here we are in this situation. In a room you could see many sick people trying to keep a green-haired boy with 4 freckles from dying. This boy was Izuku Midoriya, who was unconscious due to blood loss. Time skip. We see our broccoli slowly opening its shoots, wondering where it was. Izuku, where am I? He said, trying to sing, but he would feel a small pain in the middle of his face. Haya, what is this pain I feel? Then a nurse and a green-haired woman would enter. Izuku, mom, what's going on? He didn't finish as his mother hugged him, laughing with tears that kept falling down her face. Inko. Sniff, my baby, finally sniff, you wake up, you don't know how I was so worried about you, my baby. Izuku wanted to talk but was interrupted by the nurse. Nurse, excuse me, but let me see why your son feels, ma'am. She said this with great fear when she saw Izuku, who noticed it. Inko, sure, she said as she walked away from Izuku. Nurse, she was terrified to see Izuku's face. Be well, see, how do you feel? Does something hurt? She said, trying not to show her fear, but Izuku noticed it clearly. Izuku, half of my face hurts. Well, I won't be much of a king again, so Inko explained everything to Izuku, who began to cry on his mother's chest. Inko, okay, Izuku, everything is fine. I'm with you, don't worry. Izuku, how do you want me to calm down Mom? My own sister and her friends almost killed me for just having some very vile quirks, he said, crying louder. Inko, I'm sorry Izuku, I wasn't there to protect you, and she didn't say anything else as she was interrupted by the nurse. Nurse, excuse me Mrs. Midoriya, but your son must rest so he can recover, but don't worry, we will discharge him in 3 days. Inko, okay thanks. Looking at Izuku, I hope you recover soon, Izuku said with a sad smile. I forgot to put Inko's appearance. Narrator, it's been almost 3 months since Izuku left the hospital. In those 3 months he changed a lot. He became very cold and serious with everyone, especially with his brother and friends, except with his mother. He covered his face with a mask that his mother bought him since his face wasn't very good. Izumi, Toka, and Katsumi tried to apologize to the freckled boy, but what he said destroyed them. Flashback. We see an Izuku walking towards his classroom until he was intercepted by the persons he hated the most. Izuku, what the hell do you want? He said, very upset to see the person, who almost killed him. Toka, Izuku, please calm down. No, we just came to see how you were and apologize for what we did, she said, almost crying and with hope, but what Izuku said next would break their hearts. Izuku, first, for you I am Midoriya. Second, do you think I am fine after they almost killed me? Do not come to me with your damn excuses that I do not care about. And now you want to apologize your damn apology. I would not be interested in it, he said, very upset, going to his classroom, leaving 3 girls crying their eyes out. End of flashback. Also in these 3 months Inko left divorced Almight since he did not pay much attention to her. She gave herself custody of Izumi, but that would not prevent him from seeing Izumi from time to time. Chapter 3. Training and New Quirk. Narrates Izuku. It's been 2 years since Toka and Katsumi sent me to the hospital, causing a deep wound. And also since my mother and Tashinori, Almight, divorced. Toka, Katsumi and Izumi became more arrogant, maybe because there are more quirks or very weak quirks at school. I also awakened my 3rd or 1st quirk. And my mother suffered a man-made accident that awakened my quirk. Flashback. We see Izuku and his mother in a restaurant eating happily until Villain 1, nobody move, he said, pointing his soul at the clients, making the last ones get scared and start begging. Villain 2, shut up or you'll die, he said, pointing his soul at the customers. Villain 1, when he went to the cashier, he said, give me all the money now, he said with arrogance and evil. Cashier, no, I won't do it, he said with fear. Villain 2, if not, in that he receives a water attack from a client who was obviously afraid. Damn you, now I will kill you, scum, he said, pointing the soul at the client who was obviously very afraid from miles away. But the villain did not notice that behind the client were Izuku and his mother, who were scared. At that the villain shot at the client, but Inko pushed him, so the bullet hit Inko in the arm. Izuku was in shock watching as his mother's blood fell on the ground. This made Izuku very angry that he closed his eyes and then opened them to show that his eyes were different. I hope that from the beginning Izuku can create illusions and also that he has the kamui. Izuku, with a deep voice, damn you, why did you do it? He said in a deep voice and walking towards the villain. The villain, very intimidated and scared by Izuku's eyes, shot him, but to everyone's surprise, Izuku was intangible, causing the bullets to pass through him as if he were a ghost. At that point the villain sees Izuku's eyes, bad mistake, just by looking at Izuku's eyes he turns pale. Izuku had put him in a genjutsu, illusion S, making him see his worst nightmare and then fall unconscious. Villain 1, what did you do to my partner? Hao responded he didn't finish as Izuku punched him in the abdomen, knocking the wind out of him, but when he said backing away. But then the villain would look at him in the eyes, turning pale and then fainting after a few seconds. Note: at all times Izuku was wearing the mask, and they also did not see Izuku's face before the villain's attack since their food had not arrived. Izuku approached his mother, who was unconscious from bleeding, and tried to touch her, but she pierced him, scaring him. Imagine there is no blood and it is Izuku and Inko, So the hours passed in which the police and the emergency services arrived, arresting the villains and taking Ink to the hospital. End of flashback. Nothing happened to my mother because we arrived at the hospital on time. End POV Izuku. Narrator: It's been 12 years since that incident in which Izuku had been tirelessly training his quirk. Year 1 and 2 years, Izuku had decided to train his physical condition first by doing 30 sit-ups, 30 squats and running at least 1 kilometer, all of this with intensity every month. Year 3 and 4, Izuku decided first to train his fire quirk, in which he learned that there were 3 levels in fire. First level, this normal fire. This fire is the normal fire of natural color. Second level, this fire is blue, it is very hot. Third level, this fire is white, it is too hot to the degree that it can burn the user if he does not control it. 1 level, master 100%. 2 level, master 90%. 3 level, master 36%. Year 5 and 6, Izuku began to train his electricity. It was very difficult for him, but later he was able to achieve it, being able to not only create electricity from his body but he can also summon electricity from the sky, although it was difficult for him to summon it. Year 6, 7 and 8, Izuku decided to combine fire and electricity. It was difficult for him to control both quirks. But he realized that it took a great deal of concentration to master it, so he gave it a name: Electronic Fire, mastering 70%. Year 9, 10 and 11, Izuku gave a name to his 301 quirk, calling it Sharingan. He also discovered that the Sharingan had the form S, so training his eyes, discovering that he could become intangible and could make illusions just by looking at people in the eyes. Also, every time he activated the Sharingan he saw everything slower. Year 12, last Inko ordered him to stop training and study. At first he refused, but he saw his mother's seriousness and concern, so in the end he gave in, although he did exercise. POV Izuku. I was walking to school like that, but I saw a boy bothering a girl with long, light red hair that reached her waist and had green eyes. She was beautiful in my opinion. But what am I saying? A little red, although you couldn't see it because of the mask. But then the red-haired girl got angry. Myth, you have a problem with my hair, she said as her hair rose and you could see how her hair formed 9 tails like a fox's. Imagine it's a myth. Extra, no tt, I have no problem with your hair, he said as he ran away very scared. Myth, I hope I never see you again, because next time I'll cut off what you do to me. Man, Izuku and the extra felt very scared because it was obvious that he wasn't lying. Izuku, I better go before she wants to kill me. Me too, he said, running away, thinking she is the second girl apart from father that I am afraid of. I hope to see you again soon. He laughed, although it was not seen because of his mask. This is how he arrived at his school. He was running to his classroom because he was late. When he arrived, he entered. Teacher, you're late. Midoriya, can you tell me the reason? He said, already knowing what he would say. Izuku, cold voice, a cat crossed my path and I had to take the long way, he said simply and coldly, scaring his teacher a little. Teacher, really? Okay, be and sit down. Izuku didn't say anything else and went to his seat. Teacher, well, I've seen your pamphlets. But who am I kidding? Throwing the papers, but who am I kidding? You all want to be heroes, right? At that, all the students began to activate their quirks except for 4 people. Katsumi, Professor, don't put me with these shitty extras. The last ones who can be hero here are me along with Toka and Izuku, he said arrogantly, bothering everyone except Izuku. Izumi/Toka, I agree with Katsumi, both girls said arrogantly. Professor, it's true that you want to go to the UA, he said, seeing some papers on the floor. Katsumi/Toka and Izumi, of course we will be number 1. Teacher, Midoriya, a question, why do you want to go to Shiketsu or not to UA? He said very curiously, along with those in the classroom, Katsumi, Toka and Izumi. Izuku, cold voice, because I feel like it, and because I can, he said, scared to everyone. Katsumi, ha ha ha, what are you doing in Shiketsu? The UA is a better academy, she said with arrogance, and at the same time sadness, since she believed that Izuku wanted to go to the UA. Izuku, say what you want, I don't care what you think. Chapter 4, Shiketsu Test. Narrator. We see Izuku leaving his school, pensive, but he didn't show it. On the way, he meets the people he least wanted to see, and they were Izumi, Toka, and Katsumi. He was going to honor them, but he was stopped when they stood in front of him. Izuku, what do you want? He said in a cold voice. Katsumi, why do you still want to be hero Deku if your quirks are so weak? He said arrogantly. Toka, it's true, and also why do you want to go to Shiketsu if the UA is the one, the best of all? She said at first with arrogance, and at the end with curiosity. Izumi, according to what Mom told her, she doesn't know why you want to go to Shiketsu either. Izuku, what I decide is not of your interest or concern, so don't buck with me, he said, activating his Sharingan, 3 blades, leaving the women a little scared. Izuku, so goodbye, he said while he walked away. But he saw the red-haired girl leaving the school. Thoughts, Izuku, since when are you in the same school as me? He said in his thoughts. But she saw another girl with black hair who had it in a ponytail, black eyes, and a body just like the red-haired girl. The girls then felt like someone was watching them, but they turned around and saw no one. They only saw a green-haired boy wearing a mask that was somewhat strange to them. NPOV Izuku. Izuku just left, but not before turning to look at the black-haired and red-haired girl once again. Momo, hey Mito, don't you find it strange that that green-haired boy has that mask? She said curiously, still looking at the green-haired boy. Myth, you're right, it's strange, maybe he's hiding something under that mask, she said, also curious. Momo, she couldn't finish because the sound of a limousine was heard, so they both turned around and saw a driver. Myth, okay, mommy, I see your driver has arrived. Momo, shit Myth, how many times am I going to tell you that it's not Momi, it's Momo? She said annoyed. Myth, okay, don't get angry, but one question, why question mark? Momo, yes, I hear you, she said, still upset but not that much. Myth, which academy do you plan to go to? Momo, well, I'll go to the UA, although my parents already told me I'll go to the UA, and where are you going? Mito, I'll go to the Shiketsu, he said simply. Momo, okay, well I wish you luck, although that doesn't mean we won't stop talking. Important note, I'm going to stop writing again, he said. Myth, of course you're not my best friend. Momo, okay, but what are you going to do in the 11 months left to enter Shiketsu? Myth, I'm going to train my quirk. Well, I'll leave you, I have to go home, otherwise Mom will give me a scolding. Momo, okay, see you one of these days, and don't forget this is not a goodbye but a see you soon. Narrator, so both girls left. Momo went to the lemonade stand and Mito took a shortcut to get home faster and not be scolded by her mother. But she felt something approaching, so she turned around and saw a strange thing, a mud liquid or something like that. Villain, hoo ha ha ha, finally a container, hey girl, I need your body to escape from him. Myth, I'm sorry but I don't have time. It didn't end as she dodged the villain who launched himself at her, but the villain tried to attack her again, but Mito dodged him, and then pulled out chains from her back and stole her energy. Villain, what's wrong with you? What did you do to you, damn girl, because from one moment to the next I have no energy. Myth, you talk a lot. But from one moment to the next a little pitcher was sent flying by a punch from someone who came out of this. All my, everything is fine, you know why, because I am here, hiya. All in one quick movement he hit the villain and locked him in a bottle. All my, you are good girl. Myth, yes, thank you, well, by holy shit, she's going to kill me for being late. Narrator, we see Izuku arrive at his house, but he noticed that Izumi was also there. He didn't care, he greeted his mother, and went to his room to think. Izuku thoughts. I asked myself what I will do in these 11 months, I already want the exams to start. Maybe I will train, but mother will tell me that I have to rest him. Time skip 11 months. We see Izuku in front of Shiketsu Academy. Izuku sighs, well, this is the first step to becoming a hero. Time skip 5 minutes. We see Izuku in a room with many students, some nervous and others calm, although some looked at him strangely because of his mask, but he did not give it importance. The lights go out, and then in front of us we see a person. Hero, very good morning future hero. I am the one who explained the first stage of this exam. Very well, the first stage of this exam is the written. It consists of you having to fill out the papers that are on your tables, but if I see that some of you try to copy from your partner who is next to you, you will be disqualified and you will not be able to enter Shiketsu ever again. Did you understand? Students, asai? Hero, well, the exam will last 3 hours, so good luck, and don't forget that anyone who is cheating will be disqualified. So everyone started to do the first stage of the exam. It ended in 10 minutes. Some students were disqualified because they were seen cheating. That's how the first stage of the test ended. Izuku and some of those in the room were calm because it was easy for them. Hero, very good, I see that you are the ones who did not copy. I congratulate you. Okay, go to the room that is to the right of this room. The last phase of the exam is waiting for you there. Good luck. So Izuku and the students went to the room that the hero had told them about. When they arrived, no one said anything and they went to sit down. Hero, okay, brats, this is the last phase of the exam, so listen closely to the explanation. I will only tell it once before you gave it. Students, asai? Hero, well, in this phase there are 4 types of robots. 1 is worth 1 point. 2 is worth 3 points. 3 is worth 5 points. 4 is up to you to discover. Hero, well, bound to the fake city that they saw when they arrived at the academy. So all the students stood up and went to the fake city. When they arrived, they saw a very large door. But suddenly the doors opened. After that, Izuku and some students ran out, leaving dust behind them. Hero, what are you waiting for? There is no countdown outside. Having said that, the students who remained ran away, but when they entered they saw many robots on the ground, some with sand, others with fire or simply crushed. In a place where the teachers were, they were surprised to see how Izuku and some students destroyed the robots tirelessly. Hero, director doesn't believe this new generation has potential. Heroine, it's true, this generation has a lot of potential. Director, it's true they have potential, but what are they going to do with this? He said, pressing a red button. In the fake city, we see Izuku walking without any concern. He already had 1004 points. Yes, I know it's a lot, but just imagine that there are a lot of robots. Then he feels a tremor and looks behind him and sees 4 very large robots. Izuku wanted to leave, but he saw that there was a girl stuck and did not hesitate to go help her. Izuku, big fireball, he said, and then a big fireball came out of his mouth. When Izuku threw the fireball, the robot thought it wouldn't do anything to him, but when the fire made contact with the robot, he headed towards Izuku and went for the remaining 3 robots, but he saw a red-haired boy, a black-haired boy, and the girl from the other time destroying the robots. Hero, time, the exam is over. Izuku went to the girl who was attacked and helped her. Izuku, cold voice, you're okay, girl? Enkaku, I don't give a girl, and if I'm fine, thanks for helping me. Izuku, okay, girl, well, there's the nurse, be with her, I'm going by. Enkaku, annoyed, I'm not a child, I don't finish since Izuku disappeared in a mess. Chapter 5, Entrance to Shiketsu. Narrator, we see Izuku in his living room reading a book and Inko watching television, but they were interrupted by the arrival of Izumi with a package from the UA where the results of the entrance exam were given. Izumi, Mom, the results of the UA test have finally arrived. Look, she said, very happy to receive the results. Inko, so your results have arrived? Come on, let's all open it together, come on, Izuku, and I won't get a no from you. Izuku, it's okay, Mom. Inko, let's go to the table and open it there. So they got to the table to open the envelope where an object fell out of it, signing a hologram that appeared, revealing a black-haired subject with dark circles under his eyes. He looked like a vagabond. Aizawa, well, I don't like to say hello because I'm sleepy, so Midoriya Izumi, you passed the UA entrance exams. In the written exam you got 73 out of 100%, and in the practical exam you got 110 points, so welcome to the UA. Your classroom will be 1A and your uniform will arrive tomorrow afternoon. Well, that's all. I'll go to sleep. Bye. This is how the hologram ended, leaving a very happy Izumi with a slightly arrogant smile, an Inko proud of her daughter, and an Izuku who didn't care about anything. Inko, congratulations, daughter, Tomorrow, when your brother's results arrive, we are going to plant with his favorite food, she said with an angelic smile, making Izumi get stars in her eyes. Izumi, yes, Katsudon is the best. Izuku, I hope you did pass too, as I can't finish, since Izuku was reading his book without giving it importance, bringing out an angry vein in Izumi's forehead. Hey, don't ignore me. Inko, now you know how Izuku is, he doesn't like to be bothered much. This is how Izuku spent the day reading his book, Izumi trying to remove the mark on Izuku and Inko watching television. The next day, we see the Midoriya family in the living room since Izuku's results arrived. Now we see Izuku opening the envelope. When he opened it, a strange object fell out. I'm not good at describing people, so the person is Hank. Hawks, good morning, young Midoriya. Well, I'll get straight to the point, there's not much time. Well, you passed the written exam with a total of 100%. You are one of those who got 100 out of 100. And in the practical exam you got a total of 1060 points. You wonder why 1060? Well, it's because the 4 robots had 60 points, 30 for destroying it and 30 for saving the person it was about to kill. Well, without further ado, Izuku Midoriya, welcome to Shiketsu, your room is 1B. Well, goodbye. The Midoriya family was surprised to learn that Izuku got 100 out of 160 points. Well, I'm not going to give more kingdom and let's go to the school day, to the most important thing. We see Izuku in front of the Shiketsu Academy. He didn't know whether to be surprised or not since the academy was very big. In his opinion, I couldn't find a better forgiveness. Time skip. We see Izuku in front of the door of his classroom. He sighs and then opens the door. Upon entering, he caught everyone's gaze. He already knew why everyone was looking at him, his mask. He was just going to go to his seat but was interrupted by someone. Asta, hi and nice to meet you. I'm Asta. I know it's a weird name, but do you want to be my friend? Izuku, cold voice. Nice to meet you. I'm Izuku Midoriya and I'm answering your question. I didn't finish because 2 people entered the room to say that everyone would sit down. Ms. Joke, good morning future heroes. I am Emi Fukukado, also known as MS Joke, although here you can call me Emi Sensei. Hawks, good morning future heroes. I'm Kigo Takami, better known as the Hero Hawks of the top 3 heroes, but as Emi said, you can call me Kigo Sensei, haha. All the students were surprised because some professional heroes are their sensei, although some did not show it. Juvia. Wow, seriously, Juvia's favorite heroine will be her sensei, the great Los Joke. Rin Okamura. Wow, seriously, the Hero Hawks will give classes. I was right in entering Shiketsu. Hawks, haha, I'm proud that someone will look at me when I say that to Rumi, and he won't believe it, haha. Ms. Joke. Hee, I'm proud too, but now put on your sports uniforms because we will do a test to see your skills. Hawks, okay, go ahead and change, we'll wait for you at the training camp. Asta with a drop of sweat. Excuse me, Kigo and Emi Sensei, but where are the locker rooms and the training camp? Hawks, it's true, let me tell you, Emi, I'm not good at that. He just runs away, leaving a drop of sweat on everyone and an annoying MS Joke. Time skip 1H. Hawks, until they arrived, did they get lost? Ha ha ha, he said it mockingly, but this one was very small, it's all over his face. Natsu. Hee, and maybe the queen bee stung you, Kigo-sensei, he said, laughing along with some of the others. Hawks only felt a huge chill run through his body when he saw MS Joke looking away as if she didn't hear anything. Emi, okay, guys, today you are going to take tests to see your potential. According to what the director told us, you are all the best in the entrance exam with a total of 1000 or 1060 points. Kigo, I'm still surprised by their number of points. They even surpassed Ryuko, Mirko, Ms. Joke's record, mine, and most importantly, Gran Torino's, a former hero who attended this academy, with a score of 92% on the written exam and 875 points on the practical exam. Without a doubt, they will be great heroes. They just have to put in the effort. Ms. Joke, very well, prepare yourselves because apart from today we will make you suffer hell. Let's see what the next hero of this generation are made of, ha 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 ha, she said, but the last thing she said in a macabre voice, leaving all the students tense, although some did not try to show their fears, such as Izuku, Zeldris, or Urza. Chapter 6. Narrator. We are in Shiketsu, the second best academy in all of Japan. We are in the academy's courtyard where Class 1A will have to take some tests to find out their potential. We see MS Joke and Hawks explaining to them what the tests consist of. But the students noticed that some teachers were watching them, but they dismissed, pretending not to know anything. Hawks, as MS Joke said, we will test you to see your level, so we will not be nice to you. Students, hi. Narrator, so all the students began to take the tests. But to the surprise of the teachers who were watching the tests, the students did it without any problem. None of them showed any signs of tiredness. But the most interesting thing is the quirks of the students, who were very good. Director, without a doubt these students are very good, although some do not control their quirk very well, he said to look at Meliodas, Rin, Asta, Shiki, Zeldris, and Gare. But well, with training they will be able to control their quirk. Mirko, I did well in accepting to be a teacher in Shiketsu. All these brats are very good. Ejursit, interesting, some are good for hand-to-hand combat, it will be interesting to train them in the field. Hawks, wow, I'm surprised you guys aren't tired of it. MS, we definitely have good future heroes, So the tests ended, some were tired and a few were tired. End of testing. Hawk, well, we've reached the finals of the tests. MS, well, here are the results. Results: 1 Izuku Midoriya, 2 Urza Scarlet, 3 Meliodas, 4 Rin Okamura, 5 Gaara, 6 Zeldris, 7 Naruto Uzumaki, 8 Mito Uzumaki, 9 Hinata Hyuga, 10 Niji Hyuga, 11 Ban, 12 Juvia Loxer, 13 Natsu Drangnil, 14 Grey Full Buster, 15 Shiki, 16 Kami Atsusumi, 17 Mayui Ankaku. Note, it's not because I put some characters that way that it means they are weak. MS, well, these are the results too, congratulations, you have good quirks. Hawks, okay, go get changed. And then go to the classroom to continue classes. So all the students went to the locker rooms, but MS Joke and Hawks went to the teacher's room where all the teachers and principal were waiting for them. Hawks, hello again, what did you think of the tests? Ryuko, wow, those students have potential, what do you think? Great Orca, I notice you are very quiet. Big Orca, no, it's nothing important, he said, remembering something that the director of the UA proposed to him. At the UA, we can see Class 1A who finished some tests from their sensei Aizawa. Aizawa, well, since I'm lazy, I'll tell you the results. Look at them for yourself. 1 Shoka Todoroki, 2 Katsumi Bakugo, 3 Izumi Midoriya, 4 Momo Yaoyorozu. The rest I'm too lazy to write, the ones I'll say were the ones who came in last place. Mineta, knew I was last. I couldn't even see or touch Mom's breasts. He didn't finish as some papers appeared in front of him, and then those papers took the appearance of some swords, made of paper. Momo, what did you say, scum? Do you want me to kill you? She answers, but then, yes, uncle. Her quirk disappeared and then she sees Aizawa. Aizawa, enough, and by the way, being expelled was a joke. I said it so they would get their all, although Yaoyorozu, you took this as a game, right? He said, deactivating his quirk and looking at the brunette with a serious expression. Momo, I didn't give my all because I didn't see it necessary. Aizawa sighed. I'll let it go for now, but activate his quirk the next thing you heard. Momo, yes, whatever you say, I'll do it next time. Aizawa, well, that's all. You can go change and you can also go home until tomorrow, he said, leaving. So everyone went to change. In the girls' bathroom. Mina, hey Yaoyorozu, why didn't you take this seriously? Hagakure, it's true that you could have been in first place in Aizawa-sensei's tests. Momo, I didn't do it because I didn't feel like getting involved in things that don't seem important to me. Katsumi, haha, first place, how can someone like you be in first place in these tests? Only the strongest can be in that range. Izumi, it's true. At least be satisfied since you got fourth place, haha. Shuka, Hee don't tell me the cat got the mouse's tongue after all, you are also an extra who has nothing good, ha 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 ha. Momo, instead of defending herself, ignored it and continued changing, but Shuka didn't like this and approached her. Shuka, hey, cool boobs, don't ignore me. Momo, I ignore people as I please, if you don't like it, go cry with your mom. Shuka, damn, repeat what you said that I'll freeze your bucking ass. Momo, I ignore people as I please, and if you don't like it, go cry with your mom. Shuka was about to freeze him but remembered something. Memory of Shuka. Fuyumi, Shuka brother, don't look for trouble on your first day of school, please. End of memory. Momo, I'll tell you something, I'm not afraid of anything, not even your threats. Don't believe me because you're the daughter of Hero too. Do I have to respect you or do I have to be afraid of you? She said, picking up her things and leaving everyone surprised. Shuka, I'm not killing you because I made a promise to my sister not to look for trouble on the first day of school. You'll be saved, damn Yayorosa. So Shuka left to put on her uniform and leave there before the gaze of her classmates, who did not say anything, to also change and go to their houses. In Shiketsu Class 1A. Hawks, okay guys, before we start, I want to tell you that tomorrow afternoon you will have your class schedules. Well, now with the classes. MS. Take out the books that came with your uniform and open them to page 4. Narrator. So everyone started studying. At the end of classes the bell rang, indicating that classes were over. Although if you look closely at the students, you can see that they are tired from studying so much. Even the most serious ones were tired. Izuku thoughts. I never imagined it would be so difficult to know how Shiketsu was created, but at least all this gives results. Izuku continued walking until a person called him. He turned to look and saw a blonde-haired man and a red-haired woman. Izuku, Naruto, nice to meet you. If I remember correctly, you are Izuku Midoriya. I am Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you. Mito, I am Mito Uzumaki, the older sister of this fool here, she said, pointing at Naruto. Nice to meet you. What did you say your name was? Izuku, cold voice. Izuku Midoriya. Asta, hey, are you guys going to take the train? Asta said, receiving a nod from the 3 people present. What if the 4 of us go together since we're going in the same direction? Naruto, it's fine by me, and you, sister? Myth, it's fine by me. Izuku, cold voice, it's fine by me. So a green-haired boy, a blonde-haired boy, a red-haired boy and a gray-haired boy went together to the train station. On the way they talked about trivial things, although Izuku was not so social. Asta and Naruto wondered why Izuku was wearing that mask, but they did not ask and continued on the way. Although Mito for some reason could not stop looking at Izuku, he did notice. Upon arriving at the train station they both realized that they were on the same train. Time skipped 20 minutes. The train stopped to the surprise of both new friends, who got off at the same destination. Naruto, wow, they really live in Mizudafu, it's amazing. Asta, what do you think if tomorrow at 8 a.m. we take the train together to go to the academy? What do you think? Myth, it's fine with me, and if this idiot refused, he would do everything possible to make me go with her. Naruto, I already told you not to call me a hitch, he said, a little annoyed. Hey Midoriya, are you coming tomorrow? Izuku, I have nothing to do, so why not? Naruto, okay, we'll see you tomorrow, he said with a big smile. Asta/Izuku, see you tomorrow. So Izuku and Asta left too, although Izuku felt that someone was watching him, but when he turned around he only saw Naruto and Mito walking. So Izuku arrived home, whereupon entering he could see Izumi and his mother talking. Inko, good morning Izuku, how was your first day of school? I hope you made friends. Izuku, good morning mother, my first day went well and I guess I made 3 friends, a girl and 2 boys. Inko, well, I'm very glad you're insisting, friends, she said with a big smile. Chapter 7, Training P Degree 1. Narrator. A week had already passed since Izuku's first day of school, and he had also become friends with Naruto, Asta and Mito, although the latter, without Izuku realizing it, could not stop observing him. We are in Japan at the Academy No. 2 Shiketsu. At the entrance of said academy we see Izuku, Naruto, Asta and Mito. Myth, stop yelling, it's not because we're doing hero training today that you have to act like that. Naruto, how could I not be? Today we will have hero training. We will be able to use our hero suits. Asta, it's true, we'll be able to use our hero costumes. Myth, damn it, only Izuku is normal between us. Izuku M. Asta, look on the bright side, we'll see Midoriya's face. Naruto, it's true we will see your face after so long, haha. Izuku, I don't think so, and he didn't finish speaking because he collided with something or someone. Mayuri, watch where you're going, imbecile, she said, moving to see Izuku. When she saw him, she became nervous and a little red. Izuku, sorry, I was distracted. Nervous Mayuri, don't worry, and I'm sorry for calling you an idiot, but someone called her. Kami, oh, here you were, Mayuri, because you left her alone. Mayuri, in her mind, Kami, thanks for coming to save me, I was about to hug him. Mayuri, sorry, I got bored if that, hee. Kami noticed that Mayuri was nervous, but she also saw Izuku at her side. She quickly understood what was happening. Kami, well, what does it matter, HAA or good morning, Asta, Midoriya, and you two Uzumakis. Mito, Naruto, Asta, Izuku, good morning / hello you hello. Kami, well, we have to go to class so we don't arrive late. The five, hi. So everyone went to their classroom while talking about unimportant things. So they arrived at their classroom. When they opened the door, they saw all their classmates, one of them sitting with a bored face. Asta, good morning, how are you? Stop yelling, you can't come and say hello without yelling. Asta, no. Zeldris, I still can't get used to you coming in like that and yelling. Juvia is not used to this either. Shiki, me either, but oh well, Fullbuster, you know very well that if Scarlet comes and sees you without clothes, she will kill you. Gray, very pale. But when you help me find my shirt, please, I don't want that demon to kill me, please. Niji, hurry up, he's coming and he's running. Gray, scared. Damn, why do I have this curse, he said, looking for his shirt, but then someone throws him a shirt, and he looks in the direction and sees Izuku. Izuku, hurry up, he's coming, I wouldn't like to be your accomplice. Gray was about to put on his shirt, but then the door opened, revealing a redhead. Gray, without his shirt, made a face that even Izuku was afraid of. Urza's voice is ultra grave. Gray, Fullbuster, can you tell me why you're shirtless? Gray, very scared. But it was the little flame that took it away when I was talking to Meliodas, he said, obviously lying. Natsu, very scared. Don't be lying, damn fridge, I didn't take it from you, so stop lying, I don't want to die yet. Urza, Hinata, you who are always the first to arrive in the classroom, who between Fullbuster and Dragneel tells the truth. Hinata, a little scared, and then I don't know, ask Juvia, I think she was the first to arrive and see everything. Students thought / myth, Asta, Naruto, Izuku, Mayuri, Kami, what a liar, wants to save her alive and put poor Juvia at risk. Urza, well, I hope for an answer, Juvia. Juvia, nervous. I don't know, but I can tell you that they were fighting. That did scare Natsu and Gray. The latter already had his shirt, but by chance or by God, his teachers came in. Natsu / Gray thoughts. Thank God I owe one to Emi and Kigo-sensei. Hawks, good morning, Sheik, he didn't finish because he saw the class scared. What's wrong with everyone? MS, who is doing something stupid again? She said so everyone would point at Natsu and Gray. No wonder Urza has that face. Well, Urza, go and sit down. Later you can do whatever you want to them. So everyone went to sit down, but they were still afraid of Urza because of her face. Hawks, well, as we told you a week ago, today you will have hero training, but we will not be the ones to train you. MS, as the Bachikan said, today we will not be the ones to train him, but rather 2 other teachers, but I suggest that you do not make one of them angry. Hawk, as the Joker Patman said, don't make any of them angry. But before training we are going to choose their president and vice-president. MS, well, this will be easy since it has to be a man and a girl. Zeldris, so we have to choose a boy and a girl as president and vice-president. MS, that's right, my little Zeldris has to be a girl and a boy, so you'll have to draw to choose who they will be. Asta and Rin, For nothing in the world do not throw away Scarlet, they listen for nothing in the world. MS. Well, you have 13 minutes to choose who will be the president and vice president. So everyone started thinking, but what they didn't know is that someone did a very big stupidity, and so everyone ended up make the votes. Hawk, okay boy/girl, I have good news and bad news, which one do you want first? Cammy, what's up Kido-sensei? Hawks, well I don't know how to explain it, but which one do you want first? Some were tense because when their sensei says that, and not a mess joke, it's that bad. Natsu, I prefer the bad one than the good one. MS, well, but you are sure too, he said, seeing how everyone nodded. Well, good choice, ha 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 ha. Hawks, Kansu, it's you who's behind this, huh? MS, I don't know what you're talking about, chicken bat, so give the news. Hawks, well guys, I'm sorry for you, the bad news is that the president is Urza Scarlet. At this news all the boys were terrified to hear what Cox said. Hawks, and the good news is that the vice president is Izuku Midoriya. MS with a smile, please let both representatives come to give some motivational words. But then the door opens revealing two people, or rather two women. Hawks, they didn't teach you how to play before Mirko came in. Mirko, shut up bat chicken, I was tired of waiting. Well brats, today I the great Mirko and Ryuko will give you classes. Ryuko, I'm glad to see that you are motivated for your for your training. Naruto, great, first we just heard that Scarlet will be our president, and now we are going to die in training, or rather, in hell. Mirko, don't complain if none of you go to the infirmary, I promise you that. Ryuko, Rumi, don't water promises that you won't keep. Good boys and girls, today we are going to do hero training, even though you already knew it, but for that you will need this. He said that a light yellow briefcase came out of their desks. Both briefcases had a number written on them. Ryuko, well, memorize those numbers well, because if you lose them, thanks to those numbers you will be able to find them. Well, without further ado, go get changed. Urza, did you all hear the locker room? Everyone / Izuku, Gaara, HAI lady. So everyone went to the locker room talking about unimportant things, but in a group of friends. Asta, haha Izuku, you're not getting away from this. We'll finally see your face, haha. Naruto, it's true, we'll finally see who's behind that mask, haha. Izuku M. Myth mind, I will finally see your face, I want to see who is behind that mask, I will finally see your face, my Izuku wait, like my Izuku HAA, no fill up myth, calm down. So they continued on their way, but Izuku felt that two people were watching him, but he didn't give it any importance but rather discomfort. When they got to the locker room, the girls and boys went their separate ways. In the boys' locker room. Asta, what's wrong Izuku, aren't you going to change? Izuku, yes, I'll just wait for them to leave to change now. Gray, haha, even if you don't want it today we will see your face, J. Natsu, the ice cube is right, today we will see your face, haha, I want to see who is under that mask. Ban, it will be fun to see your face since you never showed it. Izuku, if you're done, go away. Rin, okay, Vice President, don't get angry, ha ha ha. So everyone went to the training camp while Izuku put on his suit. Izuku mind, I'm sorry but it's not today that you will see my face, he said, putting on a white mask with 3 holes. So Izuku came out of the locker room with his suit on. In the field. Mirko, are they all here or is someone missing? Meliodas, if one sensei is missing. Niji, right Midoriya. Gaara, I think I'm here, I hear some footsteps. Mito/Ankaka mind, I will finally see his face. In the hallway at the entrance to the field, footsteps were heard until they saw. Imagine that, death is alone. Izuku's suit. Everyone seeing Izuku was surprised, not because of his costume but because he put on another mask, but some were scared by Izuku's eyes. Imagine it without the Rinnegan. Juvia, my Midoriya, your outfit is scary. Hinata, yes, and your eyes are very scary. Kami, Midoriya, you're scary. Asta, no, that's not fair, I wanted to see you without a mask but you're wearing a different one. Naruto, I support you, my friend Midoriya, because you didn't say you were going to use a different mask. Izuku cold voice, why didn't you ask? Gray, it's true, we didn't know you would use another mask, but next time, Tekwit he was silenced by a blow to the head from Niji. Niji whispering, hey, you almost told him that we were planning something. Gray whispering, I'm sorry I didn't realize. Mito/Enkaku mind, damn it I wanted to see his face / I'll have to find another way. Ryuko, cough cough I see that everyone is here, well I will explain the evidence to you. At the UA. At the UA in room 1A we see some sitting others talking until the door opened, and we heard. All my, I'm coming in like a normal person he said, coming in a not at all normal way. Momo, that's not normal. Kirishima, wow, seriously it wasn't a lie, he's teaching here at UA. All my, haha good morning young people, well I will be your teacher so today you will have hero training for that you will need your hero suits. Some briefcases would come out of the walls. So everyone went to the locker room to put on their hero's costume. In Shiketsu director's office. Director, I think that this year the 4 legendary Shiketsu will open he said reading some papers and then looking at 4 photos that are on his desk they will definitely be the 4 legendary Shiketsu. Chapter 8, Training 2. Narrator, we see the entire UA Class 1 at the training camp with Almight who finished explaining what the training consists of. Almight, well and that's all in the end question. Lita, yes I do, because we have to choose to wing the teams. Almight, that's because in a real battle you won't always have the help of someone you know, that's why Ban chose to kill Al-Asar. Lita, okay as expected from the UA. Almight, well young people time to start training. So everyone went through and collected their numbers. Kirishima, I got the 7 who has the 7. Momo me. Kirishima, I hope to make a good team with you. Momo, I hope the same I think. Almight, well, everyone has already collected their numbers, so let's go with the fights, the number 7 versus 9 will face each other. Shuka, I can finally get revenge for the humiliation you gave me in the locker room, you damn girl she said, looking at Momo and showing that she had the number 9. Lita, I think they will team up with Taigo Todoroki. Almight, well the teams will face each other, there will be a villain's side that protects the bomb and a hero's side that will have to touch the bomb so that it does not explode. Numbers 9 are villains. And number 7 are heroes. Well, go and prepare, you have 5 minutes to come up with a plan. So everyone left except those who are going to confront. Kirishima, hey Yayorozu, do you have a plan? I'm bad with plans, hee. Momo, if I have one, Todoroki will most likely come for me while I distract her, you go for the bomb. Kirishima, are you sure you can handle her? Momo, I don't know but if I manage to defeat her I'll go help you. Kirishima, okay, I'll trust you again. Speakers, okay, time is up, training will start in 3, 2, 1 now. Momo, don't forget the plan. Kirishima, yes. So Kirishima and Momo entered through the door of the building to walk for a while until Momo grabbed Kirishima by the arm to move him out of the way to look ahead and see Shuka. Momo, Kirishima follow the papal bird it will send you to the bomb and be careful that Lita I think is there. Kirishima, okay be careful. Shuka, are you ready to lose? Momo we'll see. So Shuka threw ice in Momo's direction but she dodged it, and then Momo launched herself against Shuka, having a hand-to-hand combat. Momo would punch him in the face, and then tried to kick him in the ribs but Shuka recovered and then punched Momo in the stomach but to his surprise his pew went through Momo's stomach which was on paper. Momo would realize that she was distracted and with his right hand he grabbed her by the hair and then slammed her on the floor. Shuka would get upset to get up and send a lot of ice to Momo that hit her full but what Shuka Momo didn't know was that she scattered a lot of papers all over the room. Shuka, look at you, give up, look how you are haha I already won this fight hahaha. Momo, instead of celebrating my around you. Shuka was confused to see around him many papers that began to take the form of shurikens. Shuka, shit he said and then created a wall around himself so that the shurikens wouldn't touch him haha your shurikens won't be able to cross my ice wall. Momo, we'll see he said and then created a grenade and threw it at the wall, and it exploded. Shuka. But what the hell, she didn't finish speaking and saw Momo on top of her with a sword. Imagine it's a sword. Momo, give up, it's over. Shuka. I will never give up, he said, and then with his eyes side he froze the entire building. I will never give up to someone inferior to me. Momo, then go to sleep. Shuka, like that. Momo, shit, using those paper clones exhausts me a lot. Shit, Kirishima, I forgot, she said, running to the second floor. With Kirishima. Kirishima, damn man, I feel so cold, how come you're not cold? Lita, it's none of your business, hero, so that's it, I won the fight, ha ha ha. Kirishima, I don't think so. So Kirishima launched himself against Lita, hitting her in the face with his hardening and going quickly towards the bomb to touch it, but Lita landed him in the stomach. Lita, you will never touch the hero bomb, so just give up, we already won. Momo, you think so, never let your guard down in a fight, villain, he said to touch the bomb. Speakers, the heroes win, please direct the surveillance room to this location. Surveillance room. Mina, wow, that fight was awesome. Toru, you're right, Yayoro's very strong. Izumi, in his mind, he really could defeat Shuka so easily without breaking a sweat. Katsumi mind, he could defeat her easily, how powerful is she? Shiny will say bad. Almight, well young people, let's do the following training. All/Momo, there is all my sensei. In Shiketsu. Ryuko, well that's today's training. Yes, I forgot to say that every week we are going to train with your quirks. For example, today we will train with their quirks and the following week we will train without quirks. Mirko, less chatter and more action. We will do a 1 versus 1 fight to see his experience, and Lugo to see his weaknesses. All/Izuku, hey Mirko-sensei. Ryuko, I see that you are not happy, my little friend. Izuku, is Midori a woman? Ryuko, I have a name and that is Ryuko brat. Izuku, yes, whatever you say, woman. Mirko, Ryuko, then you flirt with him, now let's go with the tests. Rin Okamura versus Izuku Midoriya. Well, go to that field over there. So Rin and Izuku went to the training camp. Asta, good luck Izuku, good luck to you too Okamura. Rin and Izuku, thanks/M. Ryuko, seriously, instead of saying thank you, you say M. Izuku pusses Izuku, I ignore her, bothering Ryuko a little. Mirko, the fight has already started, start and don't desert him, brats. Without wasting any time, Rin landed his sword, letting blue fire come out of his entire body. Rin Okamura. Quirk, blue fire. Rin, when he uses his flames, blue fire horns come out of him. Rin can manipulate the blue fire at will and also expel it from his body. Rin, without wasting time, launched himself to attack Izuku, who was calm. When Rin was about to touch him with his sword, his back was pierced. Izuku, without wasting time, tried to hit him, but Rin dodged it. Rin, wow, I thought you would dodge it, but I've already stopped playing games, he said, then released even more flames from his body. Izuku, same here, he said to put Rin in a genjutsu illusion. But to Izuku's surprise, Rin was able to break out of the illusion. Izuku, surprised, how did you get out of my illusion? Rin, wow, that was an illusion, no wonder nothing changed, but less talk and more fighting. Rin threw a fireball at Izuku, and when it was about to hit Izuku, some rays came out of Izuku's hand, and then Izuku, with his body covered in rays, punched the fireball, thus forming a smoke screen. Izuku, without wasting any time, launched himself at Rin, punching him in the face, sending him flying, but in a flash, Izuku was already in front of Rin, punching him in the stomach with his fist covered in lightning. Rin tried to get up in great pain but felt like there was electricity in his stomach. Rin, what's happening to me? Izuku, when I hit you in the stomach my hand was covered in lightning. In short, my lightning is in your stomach. Rin, CC, how is it CC cough possible? Izuku, I don't like to reveal the secrets of my techniques. Rin, cough, I give up. Ryuko, the winner is the broccoli with legs, she said to Izuku's annoyance. Izuku whispered, damn underdeveloped dragon, I hate being called that, he said, but he didn't know he had a microphone that could hear what he said. Ryuko, what is the name of that damn broccoli with legs? Mirko, ha 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 ha, that boy has guts, ha 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 ha. Izuku, don't move, I'll take out the electricity. Rin, cough, okay, cough. Izuku, that's it, he said, and then touched Rin's shoulder and disappeared into the earth. Gray, where is the broccoli and Rin? Izuku, cold voice. Who did you call broccoli? Gray, full buster. Gray, scared. I heard you wrong. I said where is Midoriya and Rin? Urza, Midoriya, stop scaring your classmates. Mirko, then they fight next fight. Urza, Scarlet vs. Juvia Loxer. In combat. Urza, Juvia, I hope for a very good fight, she said, to start shining and then see her with a different armor. Urza, Scarlet. Quirk, re-equip. Re-equip is a quirk where you can store swords, armor, etc., pocket dimension, that's what it's called. Urza can summon many swords at the same time that only obey her. Juvia says the same thing, she said, and then water came out of her hands. Juvia Loxer. Quirk, water. This water quirk is not just any quirk, since the one he possesses is a quirk that has a body made of water and can control the rain, but when he is crying it starts to rain. Urza, without wasting time, said a few words that confused everyone. Urza, dance my swords. Juvia, that won't work with Juvia, she said, and then saw how the backs went through Juvia. Juvia's body is covered in water, so that won't work. Urza, I see, so there must be a limit. Juvia, no, I have no limits, she said, but suddenly a blow hit her in the face, making her step back. Bu, but as if my body. Urza, every person has a weakness, including heroes, animals, and more. Put that in your head. Juvia, I'll keep that in mind, President Senpai, she said with a smile, causing Urza to be confused. But Juvia took the opportunity to hit her in the face, and my advice is to never let your guard down in a fight, President Senpai. Urza, good advice. I didn't finish speaking as I received a water attack from Juvia. Juvia, don't let your guard down in combat. I learned that from Midoriya Senpai. In the observation room. Ryuko, ha 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 ha, you already have a girlfriend, brat, ha ha ha. Izuku M. Jealous myth, go Izuku, since when are you Juvia's boyfriend? Izuku, she's not my girlfriend. At the training camp. Urza, well Juvia, it's time to end this, so I'm sorry but I think I'll send you to sleep. Juvia, you didn't let me sell that easily, she said on guard. Urza, well, sleep, she said, so that from one moment to another she was behind Juvia and tried to hit her in the back of the neck, but Juvia's body turned to water. Juvia told him that she is wearing pure water Scarlet sand, she said, so that her body returns to normal. Urza, first call me Urza, and second I know that it is made of water, that is why I did not touch you, but now that I know your weakness I know how to send you into the world of dreams, she said, to quickly appear behind Juvia and knock her out. Mirko, the winner is what is this one's name? Take it like that, Scarlet. Well, girl, coke and Juvia and bring her with you. Urza, he told me take it, he told me take it, he told me take it. In the surveillance room. Ryuko, well, the next fight is Meliodas vs. Gaara. Get ready. Chapter 9, Training 3. Mirko, next fight. Meliodas vs. Gaara. Both mentioned went to the battlefield. Gaara, let's finish this quickly, shall we? Meliodas, sate if you say so, friend. Gaara, friend. Meliodas, of course we are friends. Well, after all, everyone in the class is friends, haha. Gaara Sal gave a smile upon hearing that, while a word appeared in his mind. You will never have a useless friend. Speakers, the fight starts, and it has already started. Gaara, without wasting time, threw sand in the direction of Meliodas, who dodged it with ease, but suddenly Gaara felt a punch in his stomach, sending him flying. Meliodas, without wasting time, ISO'd to appear a ball of darkness, dark matter, and then sent it to Gaara, but before touching Gaara a wall of sand appeared protecting him. But Gaara didn't see when Meliodas disappeared and appeared on his right and gave him a kick covered in darkness, dark matter, in the ribs, sending him crashing into a wall. Meliodas was about to go and hit him again, but suddenly a ball of sand appeared in front of him and almost hit him. Meliodas, not bad, not bad, but you'll need more than that to defeat me, he said while darkness or dark matter appeared on his arms and half of his face. Meliodas. Dark matter quirks. This dark matter allows the user to create black flames like darkness, can also give little shape to his dark matter. Gaara, don't be overconfident, he said while sending sand tornadoes at him. Gaara. Quirk sand can control all the sand samples. Sand algae around him can also create sand. Meliodas grabbed the sword he had on his back and shouted. Meliodas, against total. I don't know if that's how it's written. The attack that Gaara sent to Meliodas now, for some reason his own attacks were going straight to him, hitting him full on. Gaara tried to compose himself, but he felt something in his stomach and saw Meliodas' foot. Meliodas, you give up. Gaara snack. Speakers, the winner is Meliodas. In each battle I will present the quirk of each character, but for now I will leave it like this. Narrator, we can see the trio of friends made up of Izuku, Mito, Asta and Naruto until someone called them to turn around and see Natsu, Urza and Juvia. Natsu, hey, you guys are also going to catch the train. Asta, yes, from what I see, you and the fridge cough and the president hee. Juvia, yes, Juvia, Natsu-san and the demo and Urza-san are going to take the train. What if we all go together? Mito, Enkaku and Kami, you're also going to take the train, or am I wrong? He said, looking behind Natsu, Urza and Juvia at Enkaku and Kami. Kami, don't be mistaken, we're also going to take the train, aren't we, Enkaku? Enkaku, yes, he said, looking surreptitiously at Izuku. Izuku, Urza, something's wrong, Midoriya, I see you're pensive. Izuku, I feel watched. Naruto, that's normal, your mask is scary, haha. So everyone went to the train station. Everyone was talking about unimportant things, and Izuku couldn't stop looking at him. 3 girls. Time skip 2 weeks. We see Izuku and his class talking animatedly until Hawks and Ms. Joke came in. MS Joke, good morning guys. Hawks, good morning my KFC cough, I mean my students hee. All/Izuku, good morning Hawks and Joke sensei. MS Joke, well guys, as we told you a week ago, today we will go to the USJ where you will learn how to save civilians in critical moments. Hawks, if you want to put on your hero suits you can, or if you want just put on your gym clothes from the academy, well go change. Urza, have you heard the locker room? Izuku, take your time. Urza, as if they take their time, if that's the case we'll be late, you knew that, Izuku. Kami, so Izuku, according to what I know, he never told you to call him by his name, she said in a flirtatious tone. Urza, shut up Kami, she said with a blush on her cheeks that was only seen by the girls present. Time skip 1 hour. We see the Shiketsu Academy get off the bus, and then see the UA Academy looking at him in surprise. 13. I see that you have arrived. Well, it's a pleasure, my name is 13. Aizawa. Well, since we're all here, he didn't finish as he saw the look on the faces of some of his offspring, looking surprised at some of Shiketsu. Lita, what is someone like you doing here if you have a very devil quirk Deku? Kaminari, haha, so you were able to enter Shiketsu hee, but you will still be and always will be a Deku. Midoriya Izuku. Mina, the useless guy thinks he's strong, ha ha ha. Katsumi, you were really able to enter Shiketsu, ha ha ha, what trick did you do to enter Deku? Shiki, Midoriya, don't you see that they are insulting you behind your back? He said looking at Izuku who had his back turned. Zeldris, it's true Midoriya, they are insulting you behind your back and you don't say anything. Izuku, and what, I don't care that they insult me since that is their place behind my back, and also why should I bother to look them in the eyes, he said with disinterest, but his class and sister could see that he had his Sharingan activated. Kaminari, damn useless man, watch your words or... Izuku class, or what will they do, they said activating their quirks. And killer instinct. Hinata and Niji activated their Byakugan. Shiki ISO raising some rocks. While the others activated their quirk, or killer instinct, scaring UA Class A. Uraraka with fear, why do they protect that useless person? Ban and Meliodas, Watch your words, round face, if you don't want to go to the afterlife, they said with a scary look. I imagine that Meliodas only has the mark but smaller. Uraraka, yes, yes. Meliodas, I hope so if you don't want to go to purgatory. Aizawa, well, how about we go inside now? He said, a little intimidated by the killer instincts of more than one redhead. MS joke, guys, stop using your quirks, it's illegal. Izuku class, we are sorry, sensei. So everyone entered, but Yue class A was scared, upset, or confused. When 13 entered, he was about to speak, but suddenly the lights began to turn on and off until a purple door opened in the center of the room and several villains came out. Kirishima, wow, even has fake villains, amazing. Shiketsu and Momo Aizawa, they are real villains. Kirishima, what? Aizawa, 13 and more joke, protect the students, I'll take care of them. Note, Hawks is not with them. 13, okay, but be careful. Momo, Lida, go quickly to the UA and tell them that we are being attacked by villains. Lida, no, I won't do that. Urza, damn Sonic's cousin, if not, we will die since they must have a plan if they came like that, so shut your mouth and do what they tell you. Momo, Lida is an order from your president. Lida, TSH okay, he said to start running towards the door, but suddenly a purple mist appeared trying to stop it, but Izuku at great speed kicked it, neglecting it a little, enough for Lida to get out. Kurojairi, nice to meet you heroes, we are the Villain League and we came to kill Almight, he said, so that he would then absorb them and send them to a different place. In another area we see Izuku, Melissa and Mineta on a boat and around some villains. Mineta, ha, villains in the water, villains. Melissa, but why are the villains attacking us? Mineta, the villains are getting closer and closer. Melissa, my fingers still hurt from not being able to control my quirk well. Izuku, what are your quirks, and speak quickly. Mineta, my quirk is throwing these balls that I have in my head. Melissa, my quirk is the same as All Might's, but I don't know how to use it. Izuku, a pathetic quirk and another good one. First, you the blonde, use your quirk all over your body. If you told me it was the same as All Might's, then use it all over your body. Without hesitation, Melissa activated her quirk throughout her body and some rays appeared all over her body. Melissa, well, I just had to use it for everything. She didn't finish because she was interrupted by Izuku. Izuku, yes, you'll think about that later. Now the second thing is that you, the great-haired one, throw a lot of balls into the water, and then you, the blonde one, throw a draft into the water and I'll take care of the rest. Melissa and Mineta did not say anything and did what Izuku told them. Mineta threw as much ball as possible, and then Melissa used 2 of her fingers to throw a stream of air. But to Melissa's surprise, her fingers were intact. But out of nowhere Izuku launched a huge dragon-shaped lightning attack into the water, eluding all the villains and leaving them unconscious. Melissa meant, what power does it tell me that I don't use any of its power? Izuku, let's go. Melissa and Mineta, there is a bird scarer. In the center of the USJ, we see Aizawa fighting against several villains, but suddenly a thing that had the face of a chicken or a beak, I'm not sure, and also had an exposed skull with large muscles. That thing punched Aizawa, causing him to retreat about 3 meters back. Kurojairi, Tamura Shigaraki, I'm sorry, but I missed a student. Shigaraki, damn Kurojairi, if you weren't the way out, I would have disintegrated you, he said while scratching his neck with only 8 fingers. Nomu, kill that damn teacher who is ending the lives of villains. The Nomu at great speed appeared in front of Aizawa and punched him in the face, sending him flying. The Nomu once again went and appeared in front of Aizawa and tried to give him the final blow, but Melissa, smash. Melissa had punched the Nomu, sending him 2 meters back. Melissa, sensei is fine. Mineta, it seems that Shield is not well. Melissa, it's true, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Scarecrow, can you help? She didn't finish as Izuku appeared in front of her, stopping a punch from the Nomu. Izuku kicked the Nomu, sending it flying into some rubble that was nearby. Shigaraki, how could you hit the Nomu? But it doesn't matter, the Nomu is made to kill all my ha. Mineta, kill all my are crazy. Shigaraki, Ha 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 ha, that's the flagpole made to kill him. I didn't finish when I saw how Izuku grabbed Aizawa, ignoring him. Damn you, how dare you ignore me, the great Tamura Shigaraki. Izuku, cold voice. Yes, yes, Manolo, whatever you say, you better go home with your servants, and don't bother anyone. Shigaraki, damn you, now I'll kill you, he said, running towards Izuku and trying to touch him, but Izuku activated his Sharingan, putting him in a Genjutsu illusion. Izuku, let's go until we cure the mother caterpillar as soon as possible. But from one moment to another the Nomu appeared and tried to punch Izuku, but the noise of the fire dragon was heard, causing the Nomu to retreat. But that didn't end there, as Ikes make parleys was heard at that the Nomu was frozen. Izuku, Gray, I want you to take the teacher with 13 and more jokes. Sensei, quickly, you also accompany him. Natsu, but what are you doing? Izuku, that thing is made to kill All Might, so I highly doubt it will let itself be sold so easily. Melissa, Mineta, go with them. I'll stay with the Scarecrow, and I've already taken my designation, so go with them. Izuku, if something happens to you, it's not my fault. Natsu, quick, we have to go with the sensei to cure the caterpillar. Izuku, if you're going to stay with me, let your power flow throughout your body when I say all this. Melissa without hesitation activated the Ofa throughout her body, revealing lines and rays throughout her body. But from one moment to another the Nomu broke free and went and tried to punch Izuku, but the fist went through him, although this act caused Shigaraki to come out of the Genjutsu. But then Meliodas, Urza, and Myth would arrive. Meliodas, what is that thing? It has a very high speed. Urza, I don't know, but not the one we can trust. Myth, it's true. Izuku, that thing is called Nomu, and from what I could see it has regeneration. Melissa, I think it also has shock absorption, since when you gave that kick to the Nomu I could see that it absorbed attacks, and also something is sure it has super strength. Myth, we have to wait for reinforcements while we have to face that thing. Urza, get ready because it won't be easy. Izuku, girl, if you stay you can die, so choose your decision well, he said, looking at Melissa, who didn't say anything and got into a fighting pose. Shigaraki, haha, you will not be able to defeat my Nomu, he is made to kill all my Nomu, kill them and more like that damn masked guy. The Nomu stared at the students who were in a fighting stance, staring intently. Urza was wearing black armor with 2 wings behind and a sword. Meliodas was with 2 wings of dark matter on his back and with a sword. Ignore what's on his forehead. While Myth had some tattoos on his forehead. Duration only 14 minutes. Melissa was on guard as the Ofa full Hia all over her body. While Izuku also got into a fighting stance, his eyes shone brightly, activating the 3-tone Sharingan. From one moment to another the Nomu and its rivals launched into combat, where the first to clash fist with the Nomu was Melissa, who crashed and made a character on the ground. Mito appeared to the left of the Nomu, giving him a powerful punch that made the Nomu take a little break. While on his right Urza and Meliodas appeared with their swords and tried to cut him, but the Nomu separated but lost an arm from the cut. But from the ground came Izuku with his fist covered in normal flames and hit the Nomu's chin full on. But from one moment to another Melissa launched herself against the Nomu, having a hand-to-hand battle in which the Nomu had the advantage, but suddenly Melissa shouted, "Smash!" sending the Nomu into the air. Myth pulled out his chains from his back and tried to take away his energy, but he couldn't. Myth, what the hell, that thing has no power, that means. Meliodas, what's wrong Uzumaki? Myth, that thing is dead, I can't steal its energy. That my chains can take away the energy even from an ant. Urza, then we don't have to worry if he dies, even if he's already dead. But suddenly she felt a great pain in her stomach, sending her flying, and then she went for Mito and punched him in the face, and finally she went for Izuku, but Izuku in a quick movement threw a infernal flame talk at her. Ignore the phlegm around it. The Nomu barely managed to dodge the attack, but still reached Izuku and grabbed him by the head and slammed him into the ground, making a not-so-big character. But then the Nomu appeared behind Meliodas to grab him by the feet and crash him again and again into a wall. Mineta, how is it possible that they can fight that thing if it is made to kill All Might? Mina, since when is Izuku so powerful? The Nomu had already finished off Meliodas and then went to Urza, but Meliodas, with some scratches, got up and activated his dark energy, sending a large ball of darkness in the form of black fire, causing the Nomu to take a few steps back. Melissa took advantage of the fact that she was next to the Nomu and gave him a powerful kick in the neck, sending him against Mito, who, upon seeing the Nomu going against her, took out her chains to go through him and hit him many times on both sides of the body and finally tried to kick him, but the Nomu managed to free himself from the chains. Melissa and Mito could see that the Nomu had a little trouble regenerating, and they immediately saw that the Nomu's skull was its weak point, but they also saw that it had a hard time absorbing blows. Melissa, attack everyone in the skull / hit him a lot without stopping. Everyone hearing that launched themselves towards the Nomu, where Mito and Melissa were hitting him a lot all over the Nomu's body, and Meliodas with his darkness along with Urza with her sword were hitting him in the skull, and Izuku took advantage and cut off his feet so he couldn't escape and took distance and shouted. Izuku, Ailuyunasi, he said, and saw how they went away and put his fist in the direction of the Nomu and shouted, Flame Lance! Shigaraki, how is it possible that they can do so much damage to my Nomu? It's impossible, 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 he said, scratching his neck with 8 fingers. Everyone thought it was over, but suddenly the Nomu came out of the smoke screen with only 1 foot and launched himself at Melissa and gave her a tremendous punch that almost made her faint. Then Mito and Urza appeared and grabbed them by the head and crashed into them, causing them to fall to the ground. Meliodas and Izuku prepared themselves, but it was too late as the Nomu appeared and grabbed them by the legs and threw them to the ground again and again, causing blood to flow. When the Nomu was about to give the final blow to their rivals, some papers appeared and protected them. The Nomu turned to look, but suddenly at the entrance a boob was heard. Everyone looked and saw Almight, only this time he didn't have his smile. Almight at a speed took Alo's young people and put them in a safe place, and took the opportunity to feint all the villains who were still standing and then see the Nomu with fury. Almight, you damn dare to touch my students, get ready that they will not contend with me. Shigaraki, ha 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 ha, the Nomu has regeneration, shock inspection and super speed since he was created to kill you, ha ha ha. Almight, so absorption should have a limit. At that point, Almight launched himself against the Nomu where they had the same fight. Only this time Almight won with a bit of ease since the Nomu was fully recovering from the previous blows. Time skip 1 hour. We see the police and the ambulance at the USJ, the police arresting the villains and the ambulance looking at the wounded. Naomesa. And now everyone is here, the one with the mask, the 2 redheads and the 2 blondes. Tsuyu, excuse me, but how is my partner and our sensei? Shiki, also the other 4 as they are. Naomesa, well, according to reports, the blonde-haired girl is injured, but not that much. Apparently, she discovered a way to control her quirk. The 2 red-haired girls are a little serious, but not that much, but serious. The masked man and the blonde-haired girl are a little well, but they are injured, and their sensei Aizawa is very badly injured. Asta, damn, when can we go see them, detective? Naomesa, you need rest, you can go tomorrow. Well, I'm leaving and you can go to your academies carefully. UA/Shiketsu, OK/hi. Melissa, mind, thanks Scarecrow, thanks to you I was able to control my quirk well, and more importantly I am more confident in myself. So everyone went to their academies and the police and ambulance did their jobs. Elsewhere in Navarre. Shigaraki, no, how is it possible that we got lost? If it weren't for those 5 damn snot we wouldn't have lost. Kurojiri, Tamura, Shigaraki, calm down, we lost the battle, not the war. It's true, Shigaraki, calm down, and now tell me what's happening so that about 5 brats can fight the Nomu that was created to kill Almight. And so Shigaraki went with Tando and also told him about Izuku's strange eyes. Interesting, hee. The sports festival will be here very soon, so stay away from the UA Quirks. Shigaraki, okay sensei. In an unknown place. Silhouette 7, that boy is the one who had a devil quirk. Silhouette 4, appear if you have a lot of potential, something tells me that I am not using all my power. Silhouette 5, you're right, he's very powerful but also calculating. Silhouette 7, what do you mean? Silhouette 5. I mean, just by hearing that Melissa had the same quirk as Almight, he knew how to control his power well. Silhouette 7. That's true. Silhouette 2. More than Almight became very arrogant. Solve this. No need. Little by little he doesn't have it anymore. Silhouette 1. I'm right about, there is no need now to help Melissa now that she controls 16%. Silhouette 5. You're right that the one who helps is missing a small percentage. Silhouette 1. Don't worry, I'm the one who caused that. That masked man is very interesting. I want there to be 2 bearers this time. Silhouette 5. And if he refuses? Silhouette 1. We will do our best to make you accept. Note, I mean that MS joke forgot sorry, and also that Shiketsu came with her heroes' costumes. Chapter 10. Sports Festival. Narrator. A week had already passed since the USJ invasion by the League of Villains. At Shiketsu Academy. In the director's office we see Director Nizu talking to the director of said academy. Nizu, and what do you say? Will you accept my offer? Director, it's not necessary, you know that. Nizu. Nizu, of course it is necessary. Claudio, your students saved my students, so please accept my offer. Claudio, okay, I accept, but only Class A will participate. Nizu, okay, but I'm sure that only one class will participate. Claudio, if they are also the strongest this year. Nizu, okay, see you in 3 weeks, Director Claudio. Claudio, see you Nizu, he said, watching Nizu leave. If those 4 win the sports festival, I will name them the 4 legendary Shiketsu. The next day. In Class A. MS, I see that you are fine, I am very happy. Hawks, I'm also glad that you're okay, but leaving that aside, we have some news to give you. MS, yesterday the director of the UA came to thank the director for wanting to participate in the sports festival as a way of thanking him for having saved his students. Hawks, and well, he accepted, so in 3 weeks there will be a sports festival, but in those 3 weeks they will train with us. MS, there will only be training. AAA almost forgot, Mirko and Ryuko will also be there, so tomorrow their training begins. Hawks, well, that's all, you have 1 hour free until later. Asta, we will really participate in the UA Sports Festival. Juvia didn't expect this, but Juvia is glad to participate in said festival. Hinata, I'm happy too. Ban, haha, this will be interesting. What do you say, Meliodas? Meliodas, I don't know what to think. Urza, leaving that aside as you are, she said, looking at Izuku and Meliodas. Meliodas, I'm fine, my head just hurts a little, but nothing serious, damn it, Scarlet. Urza, first, just call me Urza, and second, what about you, Aiza Midoriya? How do you feel? She said, but realized that he wasn't paying attention. Midoriya, how do you feel? Izuku, you said something. Urza, I asked how do you feel after the fight at the USJ, she said, trying not to send him flying XD. Izuku, okay. Urza, at least you could say thank you for asking, don't you think? Izuku, Myth, the important thing is that we are okay, he said with a fake smile, seeing Urza, who kept looking at Izuku. Gaara, well, we better save energy because knowing Mirko and Ryuko-sensei, they won't be kind to us, he said, causing some to get scared. Rin, you're right, I don't want to die a virgin, I mean young. Zeldris, I'm right about Okamura, I don't want to die a virgin either. Meliodas, brother, with that attitude you will never find a girlfriend, you know. Zeldris, shut up, you talk and you have nothing. Meliodas, at least he fell in love with one and you didn't, haha. All Izuku women, they hit him where it hurts the most. Time skip 3 weeks. 3 weeks had already passed. In those 3 weeks the Shiketsu students trained tirelessly. In a few words, it was one less hell for Izuku, who was already used to that. Now we are in a very large stadium where there were many people. This stadium is one of the UA facilities where the sports festival is held. PM, hello everyone, welcome to this year's sports festival. This year there will be a big surprise. In the locker room. Urza, guys, get ready because they will call us very soon. Izuku, after they announce the entrance of the generals it will be us. Zeldris, this will be fun, hehe. PM, Let's start with the first class, Class 1A, he said to see how said class came out of the tunnel. The second class is Class 1B, he said to see the same thing as the other class, and the last class is the general courses, he said, seeing the same thing. PM. And now we go with the surprise, and that is that Class 1A of Shiketsu is going to participate this year in the sports festival. Welcome Class 1A of Shiketsu. When he said that, the entire stadium was in shock, but they came out of shock when they saw the class come out of the tunnel. To them, at first glance, they seemed strong. Class Momo Melissa, what does it look like they will participate? Shiki, wow, I still wonder how he has so much money for this. PM, well, this year the one who is going to direct this event is Myth. It's me, he said, to get everyone's attention and make the men blush. Momo, Mineta, if you say a word, I'll do the same thing I did to you the other day, she said with a cold look so that Mineta would shut up. Midnight, well, the first round of this race is, he said, so that he would spin a wheel and land on an obstacle course. Well, the first round is an obstacle course, so get ready. After saying that, everyone went to prepare for the first round. Midnight, ready, set, go. Before anyone did it, the participants' feet were frozen to see Shuka, who was the cause. Kasumi, damn, half and half, don't think this will stop me. Mina, as always, but that won't stop me. PM, wow, that was something unfair on Todoroki's part. What do you think, my friend Caterpillar? Aizawa, first of all, stop shouting that I'm next to you, and second, look at the arrival. PM, but what are you talking about? He said to see the arrival and see two people who had already arrived, but what the hell, two from the Shiketsu Academy have already arrived, he said, surprised, so that the public looks and will be surprised, but the question is who arrived first. Aizawa, it was the two of them. I saw the girl come out of a portal and the boy from the earth. PM, wow, this is going to get interesting. Juvia, because this doesn't surprise Juvia, she said while throwing a water attack at a robot. Katsumi, that damn Deku, how dare he surpass me, she said, very upset, but from one moment to the next she saw a yellow ray pass by her. What the buck? Shuka, damn, how did he get to the goal so fast? He said, but he saw a yellow ray pass by him, but what was that? PM, while Young Shield is in first place, Young Yayorozu is also coming behind her. On the race field we see a Melissa running, but behind her came Momo flying with paper wings. Note, I'll skip the fights since the second round is boring. I'll just say that some of Izuku's class let themselves be sold/eliminated, since according to them it would be a waste of time to get attention. And I don't want to be too much filler. After the second round, where the teams that passed were Shuka, Kasumi, Izumi, Izuku, Melissa, Lita, Uraraka, Ban, Urza, Gray, Natsu, Shinso, Gaara, Mito, and others. PM, are you ready for the most awaited round of all? Public, YSSSSS. PM, well, get ready, because in this round a war will break, since this round is the battle. Public, YSSSSS. Gaara vs. Smith. Shinso vs. Melissa. Ben vs. Meliodas. Katsumi vs. Urza. Shuka vs. Niji. Izuku vs. Niji. Mina vs. Juvia. Lita vs. Shiki. And more. Chapter 11, Sports Festival 2. PM, are you ready for the fighting rounds? Public, yes. PM, okay, in the first battle there will be two students of Shiketsu. On one side we have Gaara, he said, so that Gaara appears from a puff of sand, and on the other side we have Mito Uzumaki, he said, so that Mito comes out of the tunnel. Myth, are you ready, he said, looking at both of them, who nodded. Start. Gaara, without wasting time, would throw some sand spikes at Mito, which she dodged, but the sand once directed her, so she gave a strong punch to the sand, causing it to disappear. Juvia can't believe that Mito's sand is so powerful. What do you think Midoriya-senpai is? Izuku, am I not surprised? I've already seen that strength. Meliodas, it was to be expected. She is the first or second strongest girl in the class. Momo, wow, you've become strong. Tomato, I hope to face you. In the fight, Gaara was in trouble because Mito with his chains of flames was slowly taking away his energy, but he did not realize when Mito appeared in front of him and kicked him out of the arena without his sand defending him due to lack of energy. Myth. The winner is Mito Uzumaki, he said to the audience's joyful cry. PM. The next fight is one of you. On one side we have a boy from the general courses, Itochi Shinso, he said so that Shinso would appear, and on the other side we have a student from the hero courses. She is Melissa Shield, he said to see Melissa come out of the tunnel. Myth. Are you ready, he said to receive a nod. Begin. Shinso. I should be praised for having a powerful quirk, right? He said, but he only saw how Melissa approached him without saying anything. You don't plan on answering? Melissa, upon arriving in front of him, tried to punch him, but Shinso narrowly dodged it, but Melissa saw that he was a little distracted and kicked him in the stomach, causing him to kneel. Melissa, come on, get up. Shinso, without saying anything, would get up and try to hit him, but he dodged it and gave him another kick in the stomach. But this time, before he fell to the ground, Melissa would give him another kick in the chin, distracting him a little. Melissa, my partner told me what your quirk is, and if you think that everything is thanks to the quirk, you are wrong. Come get up and show me that you want to be a hero. Shinso, upon hearing that, just smiled and stood up, and without wasting time he would launch himself against Melissa. Both had a hand-to-hand combat in which Melissa clearly had the advantage, but the latter saw that Shinso was tired and told him, Melissa, I saw the struggle and determination in your eyes. I hope you can enter the hero courses, but it's time to end this. She said, then at great speed she appeared in front of Shinso and kicked him out of the arena. Myth. The winner is Melissa Shield. PM. While those words from the young Shield were from a true hero, he said for the audience to nod. Mina. Melissa has grown strong since the attack on the USJ. Katsumi. I am more powerful than that bucking extra. Tokoemi. Don't talk, Bakugo. She's more powerful than you since she was able to fight that thing and you were defeated with just one blow. Katsumi. Shut up, damn it. PM. The next fight will be between two Shiketsu students, and first we have Ban. This is called the Immortal, he said to everyone's surprise, and to see how he came out of the tunnel with his hand in his pocket. And on the other side we have Meliodas, he said so they could see Meliodas come out of the tunnel. Myth. Are you ready, he said to receive a nod. Begin. I put the fight in video form because it's easier to summarize. At the end of the fight, everyone except those from Shiketsu were shocked and scared to see Ban with some broken limbs, but they were even more scared to see how he stood up as if nothing had happened and his wounds were healing. Ban, next time I'll win, he said as he approached Meliodas. Meliodas, ha ha ha, in your dreams, he said to also approach and bump fists. Mineta, what the hell, he should be dead. Denki, they are made of Sui, they are of Shiketsu. PM, well, Myth, you can did say the winner. Myth, so the winner is Emma Meliodas. Public. Melissa, mind, I can't imagine all the power of the scarecrow. Aizawa, since my partner is still in shock, I will say the next fight, which is between a student from Shiketsu and UA. On one side we have Katsumi Bakugo from UA, he said so that Katsumi would come out with an arrogant smile, and on the other side we have Urza Scarlet from Shiketsu, he said so that Urza would come out of the tunnel. Myth. Why you're ready, she said, a little intimidated by Urza's look, but she only received a nod. Start. Katsumi. I'll finish you off very quickly, you extra idiot, he said, trying to intimidate her with his explanations. Urza. You talk a lot, she said so that from one moment to another her body began to shine, and after the shine they saw that she had a different outfit along with a spear. Katsumi, you think that will make you win? Urza didn't say anything, and a great speed appeared in front of Katsumi and hit her on the head, causing her to crash to the ground. Urza, as I said, you talk a lot. Katsumi, very upset and in pain, would get up and send an explanation to Urza, who easily dodged it. But Katsumi with her golden arm would try to give her another explanation, but Urza with her spear would prevent the exploration. Urza would grab Katsumi by the hair and slam her to the ground and try to kick her in the head, but Katsumi narrowly dodged it. Katsumi, damn, you'll pay for it, he said, throwing many explanations at Urza which he would avoid with his spear, but he would give her some explanations. Urza, that's all. Katsumi, shut up, damn it, he said, throwing out even bigger explosions than the previous ones. But Urza in a quick movement would give her an elbow in the face, causing a little bleeding, but she did not stop there and began to hit her all over the body. But Katsumi, in an attempt to get away from the blows, would give a great exposure to Urza's face, causing her to back away a little. Katsumi, damn it, now you will pay for it. I hope you survive my best attack die, he said, throwing a big exposition in Urza's direction, which he would put if he threw it in front of her. The explosion caused a small tremor and a large cup of smoke. Everyone was scared because they believed that Urza had died, but a large gust of wind would appear, causing the smoke to dissipate, revealing Urza with some scratches. Urza, that was your best attack. Hinata can throw better attacks than these. Well, it's time to get you out of the arena. Katsumi, how could you survive my best explosion? She didn't even finish as Urza appeared in front of her and punched her in the face, but before she could fly away, Urza grabbed her by one of her feet and began to smash her from side to side on the ground and then take her out of the combat arena. Urza, I don't know how someone like you wants to be a hero. You're just arrogant, she said, so that her armor disappears. Myth, the winner is Urza Scarlet. PM, well, the next fight will be once again between both academies. On one side we have Itsuka Kendo from UA, he said, so that Kendo would come out of the tunnel with a smile, and on the other side we have Izuku Midoriya from Shiketsu, he said, so that Izuku would appear suddenly. Myth, they are ready, he said, seeing how they nodded. Start. Kendo, without wasting time, would launch herself to give Izuku a punch, but the latter stepped aside, dodging it. But Kendo would make her right fist grow bigger and would give Izuku a punch, which he would once again dodge. Kendo, why don't you fight? Izuku. Kendo thought he was distracted and would try to kick him, but to his surprise he would only pass through him as if he were a ghost. Izuku would approach and give him a little blow to the head. Kendo, but that blow looked like it wasn't going to hurt him, and it hurt a little. Kendo would once again launch himself against Izuku, wanting to have a hand-to-hand fight, which he achieved, but at first glance we would see that Izuku had the advantage. Kendo, I see you know bird-swatting martial arts, he said with a big as he moved away a little. Izuku, my name is not a bird-eater brat, he said, but he would receive a kendo kick, causing him to step back a little and his mask would break a little. Shiki, impossible. Rin, achievement. Natsu, break up. Asta, a bit like Izuku's mask. Naruto, this is our chance to at least see a little of his face, he said with great attention to Izuku's face, but more Mito, Urza, Enkaku and Kami. Izuku saw a heavy mask on the ground and looked up, revealing that he had some small marks on his face, but they didn't look good. They also saw his Sharingan activated, giving everyone chills. Izuku only looked into Kendo's eyes, who did the same but instantly fainted, surprising everyone. PM, but what happened? The young Kendo failed without warning. Aizawa. Myth, the winner is Izuku Midoriya, she said, but for some reason she looked into Izuku's eyes and also fainted. XD. Niji, he went too far. Asta, Nan, I don't think so. It was Mayatha's fault that he looked him in the eyes, he said, and then Izuku appeared, scaring Kami. Kami, KYAA, she screamed to throw herself into Izuku's arms, remaining in a pose a bit like Dora. Myth, cough cough, Kami Utsutsumi, you can get down from there, he said, looking at Kami with jealousy. Kami, no, I don't want, darling, it's like more with those arms and those muscles that he has, he makes him look hexy, she said, touching Izuku's body, but they didn't realize that the cameras were watching them. Melissa, mind, calm down, Melissa, calm down, don't go and kill that girl who wants to take your future man away from you. Io, what do you mean, future man? Katsumi, mind, damn Hitch, he's mine, not yours, me. Shuka, damn, it's mine, not yours, me. Enkaku, mind, damn traitor, I thought you were going to help me conquer him, but I see that I will have the competition. Urza, Utsutsumi, we are in public, behave, she said, very jealous. Kami, hey darling, can I sit on your lap, she said, but at any moment she tried to take off the mask, but it fell to the ground. Izuku, no, he said, to turn him around and take off his mask and put it back on. Naruto, in this festival we have to see your face no matter what. Chapter 12, Sports Festival 3. We see Izuku walking through the halls since they took a break from so much effort, but he would run into Melissa. Melissa, hello, San, how have you been since the last time? Izuku, my name is Izuku Midoriya. I don't bog down birds, brat. Melissa, I'm not a brat, Izuku-kun, she said with a pout. Izuku, don't call me that. Melissa, because you don't want me to call you that, you can even call me Melissa, she said, approaching. Izuku, it's Midoriya for you, brat, he said to start leaving, but Melissa would try to hug him, but she would only pass through him as if he were a ghost. Melissa, how many quirks do you have? In the USJ attack, you only used a fire quirk and now you are using an instability quirk, and then just by looking into your eyes, you make people who look into your eyes faint. Izuku, and because your quirk is the same as All Might's, same strength, same names of attacks and same disgusting smile. Melissa, don't divert my question. Izuku, you are nobody to tell me what to do, he said to resume his path, but Melissa would stand in front of him and try to touch him, but just by seeing Izuku's eyes she would be paralyzed, and then she would appear in a strange place, but she would notice how she was tied up, and then many Izuku would appear. Melissa, where are we? She said, a little scared, but she would try to be serious. Izuku, you are in my world. Here I am, God, he said to start torturing Melissa, who was screaming in pain, but from one moment to the next they appeared in the real world. Izumi, Melissa, can you hear me, Melissa? Melissa, but I was in that strange place, she said, confused and scared. Izumi, are you okay, Melissa? Melissa, yes, I'm fine, she said to see Izuku, who was about to leave. Izumi, Oni-chan, what were you holding on to my partner? She said it would be to stop Izuku with her gravity control quirk. Izuku, he didn't say anything and managed to get rid of Izumi's quirk control and start to leave. Izumi, excuse me, my brother Melissa, he's like that, she said with a sigh, and tell me what he did to you. Melissa, I don't want to talk about that, but you know what your brother's quirk is. Izumi, it's not up to me to tell you that, it's up to him, I'll just tell you that he has 3 quirks. Melissa, 3, but he has shown to use more than 3. Izumi, as I told you, it's up to him to tell you what his quirk is, and it's normal that he shows more than 1 quirk since he has a special one, I would say, but anyway, I was looking for you to tell you something. Melissa, and what is it? Izumi, I'm sorry for treating you like a useless person and saying ugly things to you that surely hurt you in the first days of school. Please forgive me. I'll understand if you hate me, but forgive me, she said, all this kneeling, surprising Melissa, who only smiled. Melissa, I'm glad you think about your mistakes, so I'll forgive you, but if you do that again, I won't forgive you again, okay, she said to make her get up and then say friends. Izumi, yes, friends, she said, giving her a big smile and giving her a hug, but she saw Izuku, who was watching everything, but he left in a hurry. PM, break is over for the next contestants to present themselves at the fight arena. Melissa, come on, after this and the next round it will be your turn to fight. Izumi, sure, let's go. PM, are you ready for the next fight? Public, yes. PM, okay, because the ones who will face each other will be a student from Shiketsu and another from UA, so on one side we have the daughter of number 2 Shuka Todoroki from UA, he said, so that Shuka came out of the tunnel, who looked a little sad, but nobody noticed. And on the other side we have Niji Hyuga from Shiketsu, he said, so that Niji came out of the tunnel, who was calm. Shuka, you're ready to lose, he said, giving an arrogant smile, trying to forget his sadness. Niji, great, another foolish endeavor, he said with disgust, looking at Shuka, who got angry and surprised like the audience. Shuka, don't compare me to that bastard. Niji, it's obvious from miles away that you're just like that scum, he said, increasing everyone's surprise except Hinata. Myth, you know it's rude to insult a hero, especially if he's a top hero, young Hyuga. Niji, and I think that endeavor is not a hero, he is just a scum who will be and will continue to be the pathetic number 2, he said, and then shouted to everyone's astonishment and angered endeavor. Myth, I better start the fight, are you ready? He said to receive a nod. Start. Shuka, without wasting time, would throw a large amount of ice at him, but Niji activated his Byakugan and with his open hand he gave the ice a strong blow, destroying it into pieces to the amazement of everyone. Niji, thanks to his Byakugan, would realize that Shuka would approach him, but he would crouch down and hit him with his open hand. Shuka froze the entire combat arena to try to freeze Niji's feet, but the latter would jump slightly so that the ice would not touch him, but he did not realize when Shuka threw a blast of ice at him that almost took him out of the combat arena. Niji, why don't you use your fire? Shuka, I will never use that bastard's quirk. Niji, another proof that you are just like him. Everyone in this festival is giving everything and you are just playing there. People who would give everything to have your place, but you are only the future endeavor. Shuka, shut up. Niji, because you want to be a hero. Shuka. Niji, don't answer me anymore. After all, whatever your answer is, I don't care, he said to throw Shuka, who made a wall of ice to protect herself, but Niji's blow destroyed it. Niji, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Shuka felt each blow from Niji, who kept giving her blows after blows until he finished hitting her. Niji, without wasting time, would launch himself against her from the left side, but Shak, in an act of holding him, would raise her hand and throw a blast of fire at him that made Niji step back with some burns. Shuka mind, no, why am I using this disgusting power, she thought with disgust, but she saw how Niji launched himself against her, but she would once again raise her hand, taking out a large blast of fire, even bigger, making Niji retreat several meters. Myth, Niji Hyuga, stop, you're out of the combat arena, he said, watching Niji realize that he was no longer in the combat arena. The winner is Shuka Todoroki. PM. The next fight is between Mina Ishido from UA, he said, seeing how Mina came out of the tunnel, and her rival will be Juvia from Shiketsu, he said, seeing how Juvia came out of the tunnel. Myth, they are ready, he said, so that both of them nodded. Start. Mina, you're ready to lose. Juvia thinks this is boring, so Juvia will finish this quickly. Juvia would then throw a water ball at Mina, which Mina narrowly dodged. The latter ran like this and would hit her, but she saw that her body was turning to water. Mina, what is your body made of? Juvia's body is made of water, she said, and then headbutted Mina and then kicked her in the stomach, causing her to leave the combat arena. Myth, the winner is Juvia. Hinata, well done Juvia, he said from the stands. PM, the last fight of this round is between Izumi Midoriya from UA, he said, watching how Izumi came out of the tunnel, and a girl from General Courses, he said, watching how a girl came out of the tunnel. Note, a name and appearance for the girl, please. Myth, they are ready, he said while seeing a settlement start. Izumi just stared at the girl, who got into a fighting stance, and suddenly the girl appeared in front of Izumi, punching her in the face, causing her to back away. Izumi mind, he has a lightning quirk and super strength, I have to be careful. Izumi, without wasting time, increased the temperature of the place, but she saw how the temperature did not affect the girl, surprising her. Izumi, how come my temperature doesn't affect you? Girl. The girl didn't say anything and lit her fists in lightning and would launch herself against Izumi, who dodged the blow, and also to then give a strong blow to the girl's ribs with her fist covered in fire. The girl, without wasting time, would recover and would launch herself once more against Izumi, having a hand-to-hand fight where either one backed down, but the girl saw that Izumi lowered his guard a little and would kick her, making her back off, but she didn't stop there and would throw lightning balls at her, hitting Izumi squarely. But from the smoke, fireballs would come out, so the girl was able to dodge some, but she heard fireball. The girl couldn't dodge the fireball, hitting it full on by grabbing a cup of smoke, but the smoke was dissolved by the girl, who was seen with a smile. Girl, how about we go to the next level dojo with a big smile so that her rays will then change from white to violet? Izumi, I think it's fine, he said, so that a lot of fire comes out of his body and increases the temperature. The girl and Izumi would launch themselves at a great speed that almost no one could see in the fight. Only lightning bolts colliding with fire could be seen. Each blow would make the stadium tremble. Izumi would put fire in her leg and hit the girl in the head, sending her crashing into the ground. But Izumi did not stop there and launched herself against the girl with her legs covered in fire, striking the girl with a blow. Izumi would walk away when she saw how violet rays began to appear in the pair character. Then she could see the girl, who stood up and spat out a little blood. Girl, I must admit that blow hurt me a lot. You are undoubtedly powerful. Izumi, thank you, but I'm not powerful yet. As long as I haven't surpassed my brother, who is stronger than me, I won't stop surpassing my limits. Girl, wow, that bird killer is so powerful. Well, how about we continue? Izumi, I think it's fine this time. I'll go all out, as my brother always said or says. I'll break your bones. woman, or better yet, uncertain. She said that from one moment to the next a lot of fire would surround her, and in the blink of an eye she would appear in front of the girl who could almost see the speed of Izumi, and the girl colliding fists, completely destroying the combat arena. Flashback. We see an Izumi looking for Izuku to bother him until Pear found him. He was doing physical exercise, but then he saw how Izuku activated his quirk, and then started training with his quirk activated. Izumi mind, I won't let you surpass me, Oni-chan, I'll also train and be strong, you'll see, she thought, and then left without Izuku noticing, or so she thought. End of flashback. The entire combat arena was destroyed by the fight between Izumi and the girl. It was a hand-to-hand combat where both had their fists and legs surrounded by fire and lightning by the girl. The fight stopped, and they saw Izumi and the girl panting from exhaustion. Girl, how about we finish this? Izumi, sounds good to me. Izumi, without wasting time, would begin to put out a lot of fire, causing it to slowly take the form of a fire cyclone emanating a high temperature of heat. Izuku, I have to stop her, he said, getting up and jumping into the combat arena under the watchful eyes of everyone who was surprised. While the girl would also begin to emanate a lot of lightning from everything so that it would then take the form of a violet dragon. Izumi/girl, this attack will be the last one, fire cyclone/purple dragon. Both attacks collided, causing great destruction, creating a large cloud of smoke, but the smoke saw Izuku with his arms outstretched. The latter was absorbing the attack with his hands. After a few seconds, the attack disappeared, seeing Izuku with his Sharingan activated. Izuku, do they want to kill someone or what? He said, looking at both girls who tensed up when they saw Izuku's eyes, which were rolling. Izumi/girl, oh? Myth, bulth, this th fight is a T-tie, he said, trying not to look at Izuku's eyes. PM, well, the next round will take place when Cementos repaired the fight arena. Cement, they don't pay him enough, he said sadly, seeing that he had a lot of work. Aizawa mind, I should say that. Nizu, wow, this is the most intense sports festival of all. Director, I think I did well in letting my students participate. Elsewhere. Tamura, the rays are too strong, I can't imagine the maximum power of the bird killer. Kurogyri. All for one mind, all of Shiketsu have powerful quirks, plus those Tales, Meliodas and Ban, but the one that intrigues me is the quirk of that bird-eater. He has shown to have more than one quirk. At the sports festival. Momo vs. Myth. Shuka vs. Urza. Juvia vs. Meliodas. Izumi vs. Melissa. Izuku vs. General Course Student. Girl vs.? I have no idea. Chapter 13, Sports Festival 4. PM, the break is over, it's time to start with the last battle of this great festival. Tell me, are you ready? Public, yes. PM, okay, because this battle will be between some students from Shiketsu and UA. These students are very strong. On one hand we have the papal angel Momo Yayorozu, he said so that everyone could see Momo come out of the tunnel calmly and with a predatory smile, and on the other hand we have the second or first strongest girl from Shiketsu. The bloody habanero Mito Uzumaki, he said so that everyone could see Mito come out of the tunnel with a predatory smile. Aizawa, something tells me this fight will be legendary, he said with interest, drawing everyone's attention. PM, what do you mean by that? Aizawa, the fight will tell everything, I think. Myth, I see that the flagpole was soon fulfilled. Momo, you are nuts. Myth, today will be decided who is stronger between you and me, he said with a defiant smile. Asta, which means that today it will be decided who is the strongest among them. Naruto, Yayorozu and my sister are at the same level. They always fought to see who was stronger, but they always ended in a tie. Hinata, and there was no one who won one of those fights. Naruto, yes, sometimes it was Myth or Yayorozu. Whenever they fought, I was there. Ban, if some of them won, how many victories did each have? Naruto, both have 999 fights won. That's why today it will be decided who is the strongest between them, he said to everyone's surprise. All 999. Izuku, as the caterpillar mother said, this fight will be epic, she said to Aizawa's annoyance. Hey Mito, I have a deal for you. Myth, I'm listening to you, he said with interest like the others. Izuku, if you win this fight, I will show you half of my face, and so you can see that I'm not lying. I will show you a small part of it, he said, and then let a little of his face be seen. All the girls blushed at the smile Izuku gave, but then everyone was surprised to see some scars on half of his face. Myth, take it for granted, he said, and then looked at Momo. I'm sorry, Momi, but this is not personal. Momo, how many times am I going to tell you that it's not Momi, it's Momo? Izumi, hey Yayorozu, if you win this fight, I'll tell you if Oni-chan is single or not, she said to the surprise of everyone from Yue. Momo, take it for granted, she said, and then looked at Mito, who was surprised. Sorry, it's nothing personal. Myth, Bubul, they are ready, he said, receiving a settlement of both start. Mito and Momo just stood there watching without doing anything for a few moments. But then a stone fell to the ground, and from one moment to the next both girls collided with their fists, causing a small tremor in the sand. They continued to hit each other, which they both dodged. Each blow that one gave, the other returned it with more force. Mito increased the speed of her blows so that each blow she gave made a small gust of wind. She was able to grab Momo by one of her hands and start hitting her all over her body with just one hand. Momo was not far behind. The latter was able to stop a blow from Mito, and then break free from her grip to then attract her towards her and give her a headbutt, and without wasting time she would kick her in the stomach and then tried to crash her against the floor, but Mito managed to get away. Mito and Momo without hesitation activated their quirks and then launched themselves against each other. Mito tried to kick her, but Momo's body turned into paper, but she just smiled and then used her chains of lamatinas to hit her, causing Momo to back away. But the latter made some papers appear which took the shape of pistols and then shot her while she watched as Mito dodged the bullets running from one side to the other. But what Momo didn't see coming was a kick in the face from Mito, and without wasting time she would begin to hit her hard all over her body with her fists that were surrounded by her chains of lamatinas. Momo, as she could, raised her hand and then lowered it so that some papers that were flying in the combat arena took the form of blades launching themselves against Mito, which with her chains of lamatinas was able to evade, but this was only a distraction of Momo, which was able to get away from Mito's grab, which had already finished evading the blades but instantly dodged a blow by little by Momo. Both without hesitation launched themselves into a hand-to-hand combat where Mito had a little bit of the advantage. The combat arena was already shattered by the force of the blows. Both girls, seeing the arena destroyed, only made some wings of paper and chains by Mito. Momo with her wings would throw many knives at Mito. Mito tried to make a shield with her chains of lamatinas, but it was too late, and all the paper knives hit her squarely, leaving some cuts. Momo would not hesitate to launch herself against Mito, giving her a strong kick in the face and start hitting her a lot. But Mito stopped a punch from Momo and then brought her closer to her and gave her a strong headbutt and then kicked her in the stomach and with her chains of lamatinas tried to pierce her. But she had to dodge some paper shurikens from Momo. The fight continued for a few more minutes, where it was clear that both were tired but still kept fighting. Mineta, they are monsters. Tokoemi, their titles say the Paper Angel, the strongest in Yue, and the Bloody Habanero, the first or second strongest in Shiketsu. It's not for nothing that they have those titles. Myth, you really cause problems, Mommy, she said, struggling not to faint. Momo, I say the same, but I'm not going to give up until I reach 1,000 victories. I won't give up, he said, just like Mito. Myth, you will never change, but I will win this fight. Mito and Momo were suddenly bumping fists. Both were about to continue but fell unconscious. Myth, it's a tie. This, wow. PM, open a pause until the combat arena is repaired. Cements, damn, they don't pay me enough, he said sadly, looking at the entire combat arena in pieces. Urza, they definitely have the same power. Naruto, don't even say it. The Izuku class and his class were heading to the infirmary to see Mito, but on the way they met the A class of UA, but they did not give it importance and continued on their way until they reached the infirmary and saw Mito and Momo with bandages all over their bodies. Rin, I see you're okay. Myth, you see I'm fine, she said with an annoyed face while her hair stood up taking the shape of 9 foxtails. Zeldris, you and your meaningless questions, Okamura, if it's not the demon who kills us, It will be a myth, he said, terrified, just like the others. Mineta, what are they made of? Shiketsu. Aoyama. Mito, hey Midoriya, at least let me see half of your face, he said with puppy eyes looking at Izuku, who didn't flinch. Izumi, I'm sorry to tell you this, but that doesn't work with Oni-chan. Myth, damn, but it works with Naruto and Asta, he said, crying comically. Izuku, cold voice. I know you won't leave me alone, so take it, he said, removing his mask, leaving only half of his face visible. Ignore his smile. Momo, you're handsome, she said while a trickle of blood came out of her nose just like the other girls. Urza, but why do you have those scars on your face, Midoriya? She said worriedly, trying to touch his face but couldn't. Shuka, Katsumi, and Izumi. Asta, what happened to your face, friend? Izuku, putting on the mask. Just something personal. Juvia thinks Izuku-senpai is handsome, she said, blushing, something that Gray didn't like. XDD. PM, Shuka, Todoroki, and Urza Scarlatti should show up at the combat arena. Urza, it's Scarlet, damn it, said Cabretta. With the heroes. Vlad, this is the greatest sports festival of all. Myth, you bet. Aizawa. MS joke, what's wrong, Erased? Are you frustrated that your students can't handle my students? She said mockingly, looking at Aizawa. PM, I never thought I would say this, but the Shiketsu ones are stronger than the UA ones. Myth, I agree with you. AM, haha, my daughter Izumi will win this festival, he said very arrogantly. Ryuko, hey Mirko, you still haven't told me who your favorite student in Class A is in Shiketsu, she said, ignoring AM. Hawks, impossible, Mirko having favorites. Mirko, yes, and what an underdeveloped chicken, and don't worry Ryuko, you'll see her at the agency. PM, well cements, I'm finishing the combat arena, I have to go. At the stadium. PM, are you ready for the second fight of the demi-finals? Public, yes I. PM, on one side we have Shuka Todoroki from UA, the daughter of number 2, he said so that everyone could see Shuka come out of the tunnel, and on the other side we have Titania Urza Scarlatti from Shiketsu, he said so that everyone could see Urza come out of the tunnel with a death stare scaring everyone. Urza, it's Scarlet, and oh Scarlatti repeated again, if you don't want me to cut OFF, what makes you a man, she said with an auto-killer, looking at PM, who was scared. PM, IW wanted to say Urza Scarlet. Myth, BU okay? They're ready, he said, seeing how they both nodded. Start. Urza, I'll finish this quickly, she said so that her body would shine, and then let her be seen with the same armor with which she defeated Katsumi. Shuka didn't say anything and launched himself at Urza with his fire side, trying to hit her, but Urza stopped his blow with one hand but instantly realized that his armor was being directed because of the fire. Shuka took advantage and kicked him in the stomach, making Urza retreat a few meters. Shuka, how your girl armor can't handle fire or what? Urza, she didn't say anything, and once she shined it began to shine, and then she was seen with a new armor. PM, wow, how many armors does young Scarlet have? Urza launched herself at Shuka with her sword. Shuka tried to stop her with a pillar of ice. Urza cut the pillar of ice into pieces. Shuka threw fire at her, but Urza dodged it until she reached Shuka, trying to cut her head off, but Shuka ducked, dodging the cut, but she didn't count on Urza kicking her in the face and with one hand grabbing her by the head and then slamming her against the floor. She was about to repeat the same thing, but Shuka activated her fire quirk, causing the temperature to rise and making Urza back off from the heat. Shuka, damn it, he said, throwing a blast of fire at Urza, but the latter cut the blast of fire in half, but also had to dodge a punch from Shuka, who without hesitation grabbed Shuka's wrist and with all his strength pulled her out of the arena. Myth, the winner is Urza Scarlet, he said, making the audience burst with emotion. Endeavor, TSH, how could he lose to a useless? PM, next fight Juvia Loxa of Shiketsu, he said, seeing how Juvia came out of the tunnel against Meliodas, he said, seeing how Meliodas came out of the tunnel with a smile. Meliodas, I don't want to hurt you, Juvia. Juvia, calm down, Meliodas-san. Juvia knows that you don't want to hurt her, but we came here to prove that we are capable, so Juvia will give her all, she said with a smile. Meliodas, hee, that's how you talk. Myth, they are ready, he said, seeing how both nodded. Start. Without wasting any time, Juvia would launch herself against him, trying to kick him in the face, but he moved aside, dodging her, But she didn't stop there and punched Meliodas in the face, causing him to step back a little. But he didn't have time to dodge another blow from Juvia, which Meliodas just smiled and crossed his arms, confusing everyone, but then some claws of darkness came out of his back. Imagine the smallest and that the wings are of darkness. The claws of darkness were directed against Juvia, who dodged them since she knew that her body would not turn to water if that darkness touched her. Juvia dodged the claws of darkness as best she could and then made a water sword trying to cut Meliodas, but she did not notice that the other claw grabbed her by the waist, taking her out of the combat arena. "Myth, the winner is Meliodas," he said, watching how Meliodas approached Juvia, giving her hand. "Meliodas, you did well, Juvia." "Juvia, thanks Meliodas-san."
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.